Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Echo Base Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. What is up, everybody? Great to see you all. Hope you are doing well. My goodness, Mr. Producer Man just blew my phone up right in the middle of the pre-show. Kathleen Kennedy has apparently dropped a statement, an official statement from Kathleen Kennedy. How often have we gotten those during her reign at Lucasfilm? Very rare, I must say. She has now made a public statement about this so-called retirement. We're going to pick that thing apart right here at the top of the show. I want to say welcome to everybody. Nick, if you're back there, come on in. come on in and let's do this. Want to say hello to everybody in chat. Let's go through here and see. We got Shrike 1988. What is up? He says, well, that takes care of that. There's no hope. That was our old thumbnail. I had 90 whole seconds to go make a new thumbnail. And I did. I don't know how. I guess I'm proficient. High proficiency, son. High proficiency. Venger, what is going on? Has it been announced officially? No. And it doesn't appear that it's going to be for quite some time. We'll get into that in a second. Jedi Master Lawrence, what is up? Good to see you. My throat is scratchy. What is going on here? Guys, if you're just tuning in, we got an influx of people coming in. I just changed the title. I just changed the thumbnail. We are about to hit that breaking news published by Variety. Variety released a report saying that Kathleen Kennedy has an official statement, and they provide that. We're going to break that down in just a moment. Debbie Young, what is going on? Happy birthday to one of the pillars of our community. We love you very much, Debbie. Happy birthday. Let's see. Alan Copeland is here. Matt Rissman in the house. Echo Base Network. Yeah, that's me. Hello. It was actually Nick. Mods do not block anyone unless they are completely trolling and being dicks tonight. Well, normally that's who gets blocked. But okay. Thank you, Nick, for those clear instructions. Davish is here in the house. Good to see you. Spaceship Vampire is also here. What's up, brother? Marino's Goat in the house. Venger says, man, Phoebe Cates emerging from the pool is always a great start. Yeah. Davish, members for 18 months. I attempted to ratio the Star Wars, the Old Republic devs yesterday. You guys didn't respond to the lightning of the beacons. I didn't even know you lit them beacons, son. Was I at work? I don't know. I did not see any of that. Next time, send us a DM, man. Send us a DM. But that is awesome. Good job. Humphrey Bear is in the house. Good to see you. Griffin Turbo is also here. Hello to the wonderful Star Wars mom. You are the GOAT, Star Wars mom. Nathan Rodriguez, $5. Is it possible not only Kathleen Kennedy is retiring, but abandoning Disney's sinking ship because of Gina Carano's lawsuit, Discovery, coming on Disney's door? It's a great thought, Nathan, but I am not. I mean, it definitely could be. You can't trust anything, whether it's an official statement or not, coming from Lucasfilm, coming from Disney and Kathleen Kennedy's mouth. So, but we're going to get into that in just a minute. Great YouTuber, Mexican Iron Man. Happy birthday to Mexican Iron Man. Staccato DDS with 10 Echo Base Network membership gifts for you guys. So thank him. Thank you very much, Staccato. You continue to go all over the place to our friends' channels and our channel here. You are greatly appreciated, man. Thank you so much for that very mighty gift. Let's see here. Dan Grissom is also here. Good to see you. Our old friend Dan the Man is here. Good to see you, brother. Everscale is also in the house. Daniel Grant is here. Good to see you, Daniel. Mary Lanning. Jordan Star Wars says, you can bounce. You can bounce. I took a good picture with the word bounce on it the other day. It was hilarious. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I believe that's about everybody. Daniel Grant, already got you. Marcus W, what is going on? Good to see you, brother. Let's see. Jim 72068, afraid to face Gina Carano in court. What a coward. Maybe. Green Lantern 345. That is awesome. Jordan Star Wars, low IQ shill coach. Thank God for the real Star Wars fans of the expanded universe, not retards. Is that being a dick, Nick? I just want to, I think that's being a dick. So let's ban him. Okay. Goodbye, Jordan. You just bounced. Okay. Let's see here. Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington is here. John Riley in the house. Loki's Mornings of Mischief. Chef. Me, pick me. She said she wasn't retiring from movies, not from Lucasfilm. We're going to get into that. No spoilers. It could go a lot of different ways there. Salty Demon, what did crazy cunt KK do now? We're going to get into that. Also, here at the top, Freaking Wiener, hello, good to see you. Felix Kuros gifted 5 Echo Base Network memberships. Thank you very much, Felix. You are the man. Redosaurus, good to see you. Ted's Nerd World, hey all, good to see you, Ted. The real Super Shadow in the house. Darce Scipio in the house. Patrick Lemire, quitting Lucasfilm doesn't keep KK off of the stand. Ooh. Let's see. Lombardi 1969 is also here with us tonight. We got 146 strong in chat. Thank you guys all for being here. All of your gifted memberships, all of your super chats, we greatly appreciate those. As we always say here, we are, you are, Echo Base Network. This little video is for both your memberships and for the super chats. We greatly appreciate it. And last but not least, are you here?
I am here, and my mic is not muted.
Okay, all right. Was Jordan Star Wars being a dick? Did that classify as a dick? Because
total troll.
Okay, all right,
total
good,
troll.
Good. All right, so that's the state of the world that we're in. What is a dick?
Yeah. What is a woman?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Nobody knows these things anymore.
So we just had this big mega news drop. We're going to go ahead and get right into this here at the top. Anything you want to say? How you doing? All that stuff. But KK just released an official statement.
Say what now? KK released an official statement?
She released an official statement that came out 30 minutes ago. 20-something minutes ago. So it's at the top of our agenda. We're about to go right into it.
Oh, I had not heard that.
We got 160 people waiting to get into it. Yep.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm doing good. I'm still out of town, and just that's why I'm not on camera. But yeah, other than that, I'm doing all right. I've been making my rounds on the streaming this week.
Right.
All over the place.
Yeah, for sure. You have been.
Yeah.
Risman called you a dirty word for going on so many channels. You know what I'm saying? You can imagine what he called you. You know what? We'll just let him call.
Us Alabama people, we gotta get around down here.
Hey, where's the banjo? Do I have a banjo?
We talk like this and everything.
Oh, we're doing so bad. We're doing so bad. Things are not good. Okay, let's bring them in. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, show him your love, because we would not be who we are without him. Derek Andrew. No, it's not. Derek's not even here. Moff Risman.
Lord help. How are you?
You like that intro where you're like, oh, he's talking about me. Oh, it wasn't me.
I'm still laughing about the banjos.
Yeah. Oh, got him. Bang, bang. Banjos. Bounce. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, our friend, we cannot wait to get him in here to shoot on this. He's got some bad legs. Meepang! Hello.
What's going on?
You're being very, very dark and mysterious.
It's very serious. It's very serious.
Yeah.
You okay? You got me nervous, man. Everything good? All right. Good. Goody. All right. So here, let's just jump right into this.
Yeah, Mike just texted me, 911, 911. I was like, yeah, we're live now. We're hitting it.
Yeah, I changed the thumbnail. Bro, I changed our thumbnail in 1 minute.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or
Awesome.
more like 90 seconds. I changed our title. Kathleen Kennedy just released an official statement. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's not beat around the bush anymore. here we go. So this is coming to us from The Hollywood Reporter. Go ahead, Rispin.
Go on the deadline. Close this one and go on to the onto the deadline one.
Okay.
The deadline one is the newest one with her statement.
Kathleen Kennedy. Let's see.
It's
there
that
we
one.
go. There it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. Got it. See how we run things here, y'all. Uh-oh. Allow
I know they want the ads. They want the ads.
Oh, poopy head. Okay, I can do that. Yes, I said poopy head.
They want to make their money, Coach. They want those ads.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Done.
They help fund Mako mermaids, Coach. They gotta get them ad revenue.
They're gonna add those to. It's gonna be added to Disney Plus very soon.
You know, I used to get sick and tired of hearing my kid talk about Mako mermaids. Now it just won't go away. All right. Anyway, it doesn't matter what we say. You know.
Yeah, you misspeak one time and it's like
the
end of the world.
Polly want a cracker. The parrots can't say anything else. Like, it is really sad. Okay. Hello, parrots. Nothing but love. Hope your channels do well. Okay. So Kathleen Kennedy speaks on her Lucasfilm plans. She is not retiring soon, or not soon retiring, in the films that will keep her in Star Wars orbit for years to come. What does it all mean? Here is her official statement. Deadline. In their question, let me make this a little bit bigger. We wasn't ready. Okay. All right, deadline. We've read all of the speculative reports that you are out. Here we are, smelling like roses, Nick. We haven't even made a video on this.
No.
That there's a frenzy for the next person who's going to take over Lucasfilm. What is the truth? They ask. Kathleen Kennedy, the truth is, and I want to just say loud and clear, I am not retiring. I will never retire from movies. I will die making movies. That is the first thing that's important to say. I am not retiring. What's happening at Lucasfilm is I have been talking for quite some time with both Bob and Alan about what eventual succession might look like. We have an amazing bench of people here, and we have every intention of making an announcement months or a year down the road. We are in lockstep as to what that's going to be, and I am continuing. I'm producing the Mandalorian movie right now, and I'm also producing Sean Levy's movie, which is after that. So
Wait, stop. This is the first time she has said what comes next.
That's true.
Sean Levy, not the Ray movie. Well, maybe Ray's in
and
but
look,
not the Ray movie. Sean Levy's movie is next.
And she's saying, let's break this in. She's producing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not being a studio head.
This is the same thing that Jeff Snyder said, right? Whatever happens with her as the studio head, which she does address at the very end of the question. They ask her directly at the very end of this. You can go there and see it. But just as what Jeff Snyder said, he said, whatever happens with her as the president, she is going to produce these movies. And she addresses the Simon Kinberg trilogy in this statement also.
All right. Well, let us proceed. Gentlemen, feel free to interrupt. I mean, I don't want to read this whole thing and then we'd be like, well, what did you say 5 minutes ago? Like, break in at any point if you want to. So, again, I am continuing. I'm producing Mandalorian, the movie, right now. And I'm producing Sean Levy's movie, which is after that. So I'm continuing to stay at Lucasfilm and looking very thoughtfully with Bob and Alan as to who's stepping in so that it is all underway and we have every right to make that announcement when we want to make it. That sounds to me like she didn't mean for this to get out.
Yeah, so it sounds like they're in the works or there's discussions being had on who's basically going to replace her when she does step away, but she's not stepping away anytime soon. The birdies out there have been saying that that she's gone for a long time. You know, when Puck came out, Matt Bellamy, he has a good track record, and then when all the other trades picked it up, I was like, this actually could be true, and it makes sense because her contract ended last October, and we got no announcement of an extension or her being gone in October. So I was like, Celebration this year might be where we really come out and get a confirmation. But then CNN came out with an article basically saying that that's not true, that she is staying there. And then Doomcock actually who's been one of the people that's reported that she's going to be gone, actually said that his sources said that there's no truth to what's being said. So they didn't confirm that she was being gone. So I was like, okay, so this might be I went from like 80%, this is accurate and is more than likely going to happen, to like 50-50 last night. And now we got our answer. She's not going anywhere.
And Coach, scroll all the way to the bottom and then come back. Scroll all the way to the bottom of this article.
All right.
All the way to the very last two questions they ask, because they ask a lot of great questions.
Oh, and we're going to get into
it all.
But
go all the way to the very bottom.
Mercy. I can't read that much. I'm not
go up a little bit. Go up a little bit. Right here. Go back down. A little bit down. Stop.
All right. Deadline. He also provided the creative spine for the Bourne Identity.
Keep going down. I'm sorry. Here it goes.
When it happens.
Up a little bit. Just a little bit. Two
final questions. Will you step out as Lucasfilm boss this year? Kennedy, we really don't know at this stage. There's so much going on, Mike. I don't know. When it happens, who'll make the decision? Me, it's my decision. This is 100% my decision. I think that's a lie. I think that last thing there that's called pride, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's a lie. And the whole thing about we really don't know at this stage, I do. Based on her comments here, I do think she'll be gone by year's end. She's leaving. But she's going to still stay on and help movies. But her as a studio head running Star Wars and Lucasfilm, this is coming to an end. Now, I'm hearing one of the names, we're going to go back up here and continue this thing, Kevin Feige. It's like, oh no, Kevin Feige.
Yeah, he's been doing so great with Marvel.
So he could ruin Star Wars too? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
I mean, I don't know how much more damage or how much more he could ruin.
That was the joke. That was the joke. Yeah. Okay. All right. Rissman, we're going all the way back up here to the top.
They take a jab at Kevin Feige in this article. They don't address him as potential president, but they do take a jab at Kevin Feige before it's over. So
okay. So deadline that you are looking within seems to give credence to what we've heard, that an exec like Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni is in a good position as he works on a Star Wars to write and direct. Kennedy, I can't say who it is because there's just an internal process that goes on inside a large corporation and a publicly held company as to how we go about making deals, finalizing decisions, and making announcements. There's nothing unusual about that, and we're in that process. It sounds like Kennedy already knows who's going to be her successor.
I'm nearly positive it's going to be Carrie Beck and Dave Filoni together.
Oh, God. Those are like the worst two. Oh, Carrie Beck and Phony Baloney. Oh, God. Yeah. There's zero hope for Star Wars. Zero.
This flurry of press coverage, it sounds like chaos. What's the reality? All these people covering. Nick was blowing my phone up at 3:30 a.m. the other day.
Yeah.
You weren't really blowing my phone. You sent me one message.
Yeah, I sent you one text.
And I was like, I ain't getting out of bed to do no Kathleen Kennedy video at 3:30 in the morning. I don't care if she got hit by a train.
Yeah. Well, my message was hit me up when you get up.
I know.
Because I knew you. I didn't think that you would see it.
Yeah.
Until you.
So Deadline asked the question, and then Kenny says, "Chaos. There has never been any chaos because we know exactly what the plan is."
Oh, do you?
Right. And we've been talking about it, as I said, nonstop for the last couple of years because, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to be here forever. George asked me 13. Oh, don't you even. Oh, don't you even bring that up.
Oh, yes.
George asked me 13 years ago to step in. Everybody just got pissed here reading that. And now I'm looking at who's going to replace me. And as I said, we have a bench of people. What a weird thing to say. I have a bench. That's like them idiots calling me couch. We have a bench of people internally to handle the business, the creative side. The job has grown also since I stepped in. No, it's actually shrunk. Star Wars is in a much worse place than it was. It had been better if you had done nothing. Anyways, there was no streaming. There weren't a lot of the things that we're involved in right now going on, so it has grown. How far down the road do you expect before a change gets made and then you go off and produce these two big Star Wars things? We'll probably make an announcement months or a year out, and I have every intention of sticking around to help that person be successful. I'm already producing the Mandalorian movie, and Sean Levy's is after that. I recall these same retirement predictions were rendered a while ago, and you re-upped, and here you are. What do you make of this fixation on your job status? Oh my gosh!
This is pure gold. this is pure
Kennedy,
gold.
I truly don't know. In any discussion previously about me retiring or quitting or any of those things, that's complete rumor mill, because through all these reports, I have just continued doing my job and continuing my contract. Nothing unusual. It all has just been manufactured. Oh, that's because a whole lot of the fans want you to disappear, Kathy.
Listen, the next thing they ask her is, aren't you getting fired?
The connotation is you're being pushed aside. Dang, this guy had sack, man.
Savage.
This guy had sack. She never gets asked questions like this. This is the first time ever.
He's like, I'm just throwing it out there. This has been going on for years. We need these answers.
I want to know where they found her. Did she like stick her head out for a second?
Yeah.
MIA.
Man, savage for real, bro. Like, wow. All right. The connotation is you're being pushed aside, in need of being replaced, though that's not what I've heard, Deadline says. Kennedy, is absolutely not the case. It could not be further from the truth. And everything that we do inside of Lucasfilm is in lockstep and in communication with Disney. We all know what's going on. The communication has been completely collaborative, as you would expect. This is a big piece of business for them, and they want to empower me to help them make the decision. And that choice, I'm doing that.
Oh, God.
She knows how to just bullcrap answers, man.
And remember, the Alan she's spoken about a couple times in this article is Alan Bergman, right? So Alan Bergman is handling a lot of this stuff, and he was one of the executives that recently talked about Skeleton Crew performance, and he's seen all of Andor season 2 and how excited they are about it, and that yada yada yada. So clearly, he seems to be a fan.
All right, so here is the Kevin Feige burn.
Yes.
Holy crap, guys!
Oh yes.
Well, you know what? I'm placing some blame on Marvel's Kevin Feige because he had that magnificent streak of superhero hits and set an impossible high bar. But now he's starting to take shrapnel. How daunting is it to run a company based on beloved and iconic IP? What has been the most challenging thing about running Lucasfilm when fans of the original trilogy, us, fixate, measure everything against it and don't see the business need of broadening the franchise when Disney paid so much for it? It's what we'll now go through with James Bond.
Now a James Bond dig too.
Yeah. So Kennedy's answer. Oh, this is a big answer, guys. It is something I think about all the time. It's fascinating to think about how you sustain a brand, especially Star Wars, which is just about to celebrate its 50th anniversary. And so to analyze and understand what was inspiring George when he created Star Wars, when he was still looking at Saturday matinees and Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon, here's a big non-answer. And those are things of the past, and politically, what he was reflecting in his stories, because Star Wars has always had that kind of world building, and it reflects a certain amount of our society. The world, needless to say, is changing by the second, and consequently, the audience has changed dramatically. You made it a girl brand. how they consume things. We're seeing this reflected in the health of the movie business and what it really means for streaming and what are all these other platforms that may be on the horizon. You're trying to look forward, and at the same time, you're trying to create stories that feel similar or familiar. So you are moving into the future, but you're maintaining a sense of familiarity. I think that's the hardest balance. That's just a bunch of gobbledygook right there to me.
She's got a whole nother paragraph of it coming up.
Oh. Then, holy crap. Then, when you have a brand that's this expansive, you're also... Let me think about what I'm saying here. This is something we work very hard at. You try to find different entry points for different generations because that's what Star Wars has always been. It's a very generational brand, and we want to sustain that. And we work hard to sustain that. So George gave us this gift of storytelling being across lots of different genres, and that gives us a lot of opportunity to try things. What we've really enjoyed about the streaming space is we've been able to experiment. It's harder to do that in the movie space. And now I think that that's why it feels so good to be able to move into the Mandalorian movie as we're coming off of these 3 seasons of a very successful show. Huh? Mandalorian, first 2 seasons. We've actually built an audience for that. And not really. And they're gone.
She doesn't count Book of Boba Fett, clearly.
Yeah, that was a long...
or Mando season 3.
Yeah,
or
that was a long time
Acolyte.
ago. And we gave the young audience an opportunity to enter Star Wars at a different place and not feel like you have to have seen everything. It became their Star Wars. And that, I think, is the fun storytelling challenge. Oh my gosh, y'all. All right, so before we continue this, thoughts, gentlemen? And by the way, look, we got super chats we got to hit, but thoughts?
It's a mix of what appear to be the right kinds of questions with her usual doublespeak answers. Now she's going to talk about the rabid. They're going to talk about the rabid fan base in a second, and we'll get that out of the way. And then she'll start actually talking about what's going on with the movies in production, which may be interesting. But so far, I think what we can get from this is she will continue to be involved in these upcoming theatrical productions, whether she's in charge of Lucasfilm or not. And if she's not in charge of Lucasfilm, people will be in charge that will continue her legacy. Right. I think anyone who believes some white knight is coming from outside to shake up the company and do something different than this path that they're currently on.
To Doja.
La La Land, right? That's
Yeah.
to me, that's a La La Land.
Yeah, it's not getting dozed.
No.
Very
That's why
interesting.
she keeps saying how great their bench is. That is her way of saying who comes next will be from within.
And that gives fans no hope.
Well, it's not going to be Doug Chang, right? It's not going to be John Knoll, right? And one of the things that Jeff Snyder reported, which is very concerning, is she's and this may or may not be her directly, but she's largely kept ILM and Skywalker Sound and a lot of these subsidiaries mostly intact. And there is a belief that when she steps aside, whoever comes in next is going to bring the axe down on those arms of the company because they just don't need that many people anymore. Right. So I think it's probably going to be a really tough time to be in Lucasfilm. And I really think this goes to their strategy of focusing on the movies, minimizing the Disney Plus content, and trying to get themselves back on track with those big events. Whether the stories suck or not remains to be seen.
Well, brother, knee pain, you know more about that business than everybody here combined. What are you thinking here?
I think what happened this week, I was suspicious the moment the news dropped. Honestly, the moment the news dropped, something sounded off. And I know the guy's ex-Hollywood reporter, but still, it sounded suspicious. What I think, I think she wants to stay around. I think they probably want to drain their own swamp, so they let some news leak to see who the possible leak is. So I imagine right now, this week, someone's putting open to work on their LinkedIn profile. They did it, to probably expose some leaks and generate a good reason to have an interview with KK so she can drop everything she dropped in this interview today.
So you are
I wouldn't be
saying
surprised.
that you think she's being, honest about her immediate future. Probably sometime in the near future, this announcement will be made. Guys, does it not make sense that they could announce who they think is going to be taking over? Couldn't that happen in Japan, guys?
I think they dropped this interview now because they're about to go on an Andor season 2 press junket, right? They're about to hype up Star Wars Celebration Japan. And what they don't want is every Kathleen Kennedy appearance for those lead up events to have this question. Are you retiring? When are you leaving? And that's not to say they're not going to still ask her, but after Deadline dropped this, every other one of the trades picked it up. Just like picked up the baloney story. Right. This is an effort to try and make sure that they don't distract her for these upcoming events. She's getting all kinds of BS awards as well. Right. They are trying to make sure that every question that's asked her is not, are you really retiring? What's the deal?
Sure, of course.
Because this interview goes on way too long for it to be anything else.
That's why I think this whole thing was possibly calculated in a way. So, yeah.
Well, great friend to our channel and brother is here to share his thoughts as well. Everybody's welcome. Derek Anderson, the DA. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's good, man? Anything happened today?
You got this
just within the last 45 minutes.
You got this breaking news, right?
I haven't heard the. Yeah, what up, Nick? What up, man? What up, Knee Pain, Moff Rissman? I haven't heard the actual quotes yet.
So it's a huge article, like her statements. I'm putting it in private chat for you, Derek, to pull up on your own so you can kind of scan around. But Kathleen Kennedy pretty much says, I'm not retiring. I'm going to make movies for the rest of my life, but I'm not going to be at Lucasfilm as the president very much longer. We have a plan in place, and y'all are a bunch of bitches. Oh, I'm sorry, benches. She keeps saying something about we have a great bench of people here.
She keeps saying their internal bench will be how they refill her position. Again, that's why I'm nearly positive it's going to be Carrie Beck and Dave Filoni, and the chief development gal. She's going to continue in that role because they're going to need her to carry that axe, Linwin Bowen, right? And because they're and I've been saying this for a while also, they don't need another president of Lucasfilm. Alan Bergman can do it. Right, they don't need another president, right? They need someone who can manage the producers and someone who has the creative chops, which they're saying is Filoni, to carry the story forward. They don't need another Kathleen Kennedy.
In the fact that she said that the Sean Levy thing is next, that I guess she's sticking around for. I mean, that's got to be at least 3 years out. So I'm guessing she's going to be around for at least 3-4 more years.
She's going to
not as the head of Lucasfilm.
She's going to talk about the Simon Kinberg thing in a second, and the interview is going to say, "This sounds like you could be around for another 10 years."
Yeah, all
and
right,
then she'll say something like, "Well, I don't know about all that." But she's
producing, but not being the studio head. Is that what they're saying?
She said that they pretty much have a plan in place for her succession, and that they will announce it when they're ready to announce it.
Okay.
It made it sound like it could be happening sometime within the next year. But she said before that, I am not retiring. I will produce movies until I die. I will always be in the movie business. Yeah. But she pretty much did say that she has been having meetings with the execs about her succession plan.
Who's next?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And she's making it sound like she's claiming that she has a hand in who's chosen.
She's saying it's 100% her decision.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think she should be able to make that decision at all.
No way.
How is she making that decision? After you ruined the franchise? No.
Not just the Star Wars franchise, but Indiana Jones, literally everything that Lucasfilm has.
Everything she's touched. What's gotten better?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, if she's
YouTube's gotten better. Your channel's got better. Your subscriptions got bigger.
Yeah. So the thing is, if in a way, I kind of believe that it is her decision, because if it wasn't, She would have been gone by now.
100%.
I think she would have already been replaced.
I think they're allowing her to leave with some dignity. I don't think they're going to fire her, whatever. She's going to leave with her head held high. You know, they didn't fire me and run me out on a rail or any of that, which is what she deserves. They didn't do that.
Years ago.
But I think they're allowed. Listen, I think at some point in time, it's like, look, you're bad for business. You know, your name being attached to everything Star Wars is literally bad for business. We got to get you out of here. How do you want to leave? Do you want to leave, you know, okay, I'll just be a producer on the last couple of things, but we'll announce that there is a new studio head or something. You know, the optics is really what Disney is fighting it. They're fighting the optics of Star Wars right now, and they got to do something to clean the brand up and get the brand back in a healthy direction. That's what they need to do. It's not about It's honestly, it's not even about if it's Carrie Beck or Dave Filoni or somebody else running it. You know, any name other than Kathleen Kennedy would be a boom. You know, and to us, we understand the difference. Trust me, we understand the difference. But when you're looking at the wider scope of the general audience, and they say, man, I don't really care about Star Wars. You know, most people in the general audience aren't really watching Star Wars. I mean, I heard something about like the Mandalorian, you know, was a great series or something like that. I think I did catch the tail end of you guys talking about the
Mandalorian.
Yeah, like, man, Kathleen, you in for a rude awakening when that box office drops, because I don't think that movie's going to make any money at all. Yeah. You know, but there's a stink on the Star Wars franchise right now, and it's all due to her leadership. And any change in shakeup in that will at least be seen as a positive move. We know that you can't leave it to Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is not the guy. He isn't. But nevertheless, any change, any news of a change in leadership, that would, you know, create some positive buzz for most people in the general audience.
My opinion on Dave Filoni is if he took over Lucasfilm, would we see absolutely any change in Lucasfilm Productions?
No.
Everything would be exactly the same as it is now. He already does whatever he wants to do.
And it might get even worse because we don't know how much pullback, you know, KK is like, nah, Dave, no, we're not doing that. I mean, if he has full control with nobody above him and he can just basically do whatever he wants, I mean, it could get even worse. But I used this expression on several other streams this week. You know, she can be gone.
R-rating alert. R-rating alert. Oh, it's the weed thing. Got it. Go.
Yeah.
Engage.
So the now I forgot what I was.
I like it. The weed thing. Yeah, it's brilliant. You were so good at analogy, son.
Yeah. So, you know, she's the weed, and you can throw the weed out, but everybody there, Filoni, Carrie Beck, all of them there, everybody on that executive board over there in the story group is the roots of the weed, and she can be gone, and that weed's just going to grow right back.
Exactly.
I just don't think, in my opinion, that Star Wars is ever going to change under Disney. It's going to keep being the same garbage, and until they sell it, which I don't think is ever going to happen, and somebody else gets it and is like, you know, all that stuff's gone, which is never going to happen. I mean, maybe one day, but yeah, I don't see it changing or getting.
You know what your analogy makes me think of? That old saying from like 1985: "Tough titty said the kitty, but the milk's still good."
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why it makes me think
Where
that.
Did that come from?
I don't know. It just popped out. It just popped out. I missed that one. That one was good. Yeah. Do you remember that one, Derek?
No, that was you know what that is. That's you going back and pulling something up out your
like, he got up off that fence just long enough to pull it out, Derek. Just long enough to pull it out.
I ride the fence. Okay. Aurora Uplinks, member for 18 months. Been around a lot longer than that. That's not true. Film idea. Two friends get drafted and go on the run together in a Star Wars galaxy, running from stormtrooper duty, hijinks, and survival in a galaxy. That'd be awesome. Write it up. Let's do it. Let's do it. Jedi Master Lawrence, member for 45 months. Watch the first 2 episodes and a half of episode 3 of House of David. 8 out of 10 so far. Hebrew spoken every once in a while. Highly recommend. Ding dong, KK is gone soon. Thank you, Erica. Appreciate that member chat. Staccato DDS with a $20
What's up,
super chat.
Staccato?
Oh no, suck again.
Yeah.
We
Stopped,
suck again.
really.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
sucking.
Yeah, we never. Yeah, Disney Star Wars never stopped sucking.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Staccato, not only did you give 10 Echo Base Network memberships, thank you for that big $20 super chat. And all
Yeah,
you guys
Staccato.
super chatting. Graph Web, $2. Hashtag cancel Disney Plus, parentheses, even you, coach. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Graph Web, we appreciate you very much, my friend. You keep rolling, brother. Raging Rhino, I think it's her decision. I don't think anyone can fire her. Otherwise, she would have been fired already, right? I think that's logical.
Yeah, I agree with.
She
Raging
should, if
Rhino
she was going to be
completely.
fired, it should have happened 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even when you got the shills out there basically saying,
That's us, son. Haven't you been reading?
no, we're the fence riders.
No.
Well, you're the
that-
fence rider.
Yeah.
But yeah, even when you got the shills like Campia, he never goes to those events anymore, probably because he got uninvited from because he clapped back at KK publicly multiple times. Even when they are saying, okay, she needs to be gone, that there's a problem there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she should have been gone a long time ago.
Yep. Agreed. Thank you, Raging Rhino, and good to see you, brother. Staccato DDS with another super chat. $10. Deadline KK, when your retirement was announced, Disney stock bounced almost 3%, and the entire fandom was in ecstasy. What's your response to that? Oh, that'd have been fantastic.
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic.
That's the thing, man. Like, doesn't she get tired of feeling like this? Like, man, they just want me gone. Like the
Derek,
entire fan base.
This is the
just
next
tired.
question. This
They
is the
actually,
next
Oh,
question.
is it?
that's the
I
next
mean-
question. And they've been
Okay.
asking her some zingers, and we've never
Yeah.
seen this. This is new
And
to
we-
me.
And we're going back to the article, guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Oh,
the
yeah, we're
next
not done.
question.
We're going right back to it. Jeff says, what's up, low specs Linux laptop gaming? Whatever, your old name. Does anybody ever care if she goes anymore? It's already destroyed too late. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't
look,
matter if she's there or not.
A replacement's
You know.
just like a little, yeah. And then you're like, oh, yeah, this is. Now, if a replacement comes and be like, we're retconning.
Yeah, you gotta make
7,
some
8, 9 didn't happen.
hardcore decisions.
We're,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's alternate-
none of it happened.
alternate
None of the
world.
Disney Star Wars
Yeah.
happened.
yeah,
Disney,
let's go.
Disney Star Wars is Legends. The EU is canon. We're just going to flip it right back around right before
I agree.
Kathleen bought it. We're
See-
going to reverse everything. It's like Thanos snapped. It never happened.
And
That
the thing
would
is-
fix a lot.
Yeah, and
I'm
the thing is,
inevitable.
they wouldn't even have to adapt the EU. Like they literally could just pick up from the last EU book and just reference all the stories before it and basically say all this stuff happened and just pick up.
What was the
from
last
after the
EU
last-
book, Dick?
I have no
Fake
idea.
fan.
I've
The only
read
one- the only one
handful-
Derek's ever read is Courtship of Princess Leia. He
That's
hadn't
all I've
read
ever
any
read.
of the
Yeah.
rest
Fake
of them.
fan alert.
I've read the Thrawn trilogy. The
He don't
Oh,
even
here we
know,
go.
guys. He don't even know. Nobody on this panel knows besides me. Psych,
Better get
I
back
don't
to the
even-
article before
Okay,
we
all right,
get
all
in
right.
trouble.
My bad. Okay. Yeah, article. So here we go. Here's the question. You've got a long resume of big movies. Compared to that, how much tougher is the challenge of so much public scrutiny and second guessing by the rabid fan base? It's not uncommon to develop a project with big names who fall out when visions don't align, but they get reported as a big implosion. And Kathleen says, what you just said, though, is so interesting to me, Mike, because that is the development. It doesn't matter if you're doing Star Wars or anything else. What's troubling and frustrating is that our development gets scrutinized, and I don't know any other production company where their development gets scrutinized like that. It's very hard for anything to happen within Star Wars without some aspect of it becoming public before you even want it to become public. So I guess managing the message in some way is also quite a challenge because, of course, not every single thing we put in development are we going to make. That's not unusual. We want to make those things that we feel are the best. We want to make those things that, as time passes, feel relevant to what the audience is responding to. So there's constant discussion around that. So yeah, that's a tricky one because a lot of the scrutiny around Star Wars and the negativity has been about development. Of course, we're going to develop lots of different things with an understanding that not everything gets made.
She just explained right there the biggest problem is the lack of vision, the fact that they're just throwing a lot of projects. Yes, your lack of vision. Yeah, they don't have like a firm game plan of what they want to do because they're just going to throw a lot of stuff at the wall, see what sticks, what's going to work this time. Oh, we're going to put something in development. We're going to have a lot of conversations, and then you know what, not do that. And then those things leak. And then next thing you know, everybody's Kathleen Kennedy doesn't know what she's doing. At least that's the story she's trying to spin. But yeah, you need vision.
It's like, oh, but that stuck to the wall. I was like, yeah, but shit's sticky.
Well, but what she said there, though, she kind of told on herself, right? She said the problem is their inability to control the messaging, right? Well, why is that? Number one, she announced all that stuff at Star Wars Celebration, then never came back with any updates, just got quiet on all of it. Right. And we had to pick and decide and leak it out and all that because she doesn't message anything. And then when other leaks come out, although he's going to address it here because this is the guy that leaked the Simon Kinberg thing. When these other leaks come out about what's next and who's doing what, she also doesn't say anything about that. So the best way to control the message is to say something.
Or
and
not
to keep
say
people informed.
That's probably why Mike Zero stopped covering Star Wars. He was like, you know what? If you're not going to release these shows, I'm just going to talk crap about something else. You know?
Well, I mean, think about it, man. She's like you just mentioned, Risman. She trots Daisy Ridley out on stage at Star Wars Celebration 2 years ago. So, of course, we're all going to be interested in what's happening with that film. Okay, is it happening? Who's the writer? Who's the director? Oh, and then it's Charmin Obey-Chinoy. Okay, what experience does she have in making a Star Wars movie? Like, she creates the scuttlebutt by, doing all of this nonsense. And then in the meantime, 2 movies have now rocketed right past Daisy Ridley's Rey movie. I mean, just got pushed to the head of the class. What do you expect us to think about this? Like, this is mismanagement. You wouldn't accept this in any other business.
Sean Levy's movie is ahead of that one.
That's my point. The Mando and Grogu movie, which wasn't even announced at any point, it just got greenlit last year. And it's already done. It's in the can, and it's coming out next year. That movie just shot right past Daisy Ridley. But Daisy Ridley was trotted out on stage. So, she was like she was going to be the next person.
So the interesting thing about this, Derek, is the one thing that's not discussed in this article, the one question that this interviewer doesn't ask is what's going on with the Chimay Chinoy Rey movie. They talk about the Taika movie. They talk about the Kinberg movies. They talk about Mangold's movie. They never mention, and he never asks her anything about that movie.
Don't ask any of those Isaiah Thomas questions. Okay, good.
And listen, I'm not trying to say I want this movie to come out or I can't wait to see the Rey movie, but to her point, where she's saying that the fans are coming after him because the development of these films aren't coming together and everybody has questions. It's like, you're the one that's giving us this information. Like, you're telling us, hey, we got a movie coming up, and we've heard the Ryan Johnson trilogy. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Like, she has mismanaged this company. And she's trying to, things happen in Hollywood and it's the development of the process. And that's where I go back to the vision of whoever's running Lucasfilm and who's coming out with these projects is broken or it's non-existent. That's the major problem. We didn't have this when George Lucas was running the show. That's all I got to say.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. Let's continue on with more Kathleen Kennedy comments, hot off the press, guys. Deadline says, I broke a piece last fall about Simon Kinberg making a deal to write and produce a Star Wars trilogy. How's that going? And she says, we're absolutely rolling fast and furiously. That has gone exceptionally well, and he's literally going to script as we speak. We'll see something probably around June. Simon, if you remember, he did some work with us years ago with the animated show, which was a really wonderful collaborative experience. And then he got very, very busy with X-Men and then recently became available again. And he segued into this space beautifully. We're really excited about where that's headed. Deadline says there are spin-offs, and then there is the core Star Wars story broken into trilogies. Is this a continuation of that? Kinberg's movie. This is the next iteration, the new saga that moves us into the future. I don't even know what that means, guys.
So this is going. So what's his original break of this thing was Kinberg is doing a trilogy, and it's going to be the next episodes, right? If you consider episodes 1 through 9 as being the mainstay, right? The core of the theatrical experience, and things like Solo and Rogue One, and now she's going to say Sean Levy's movie and some of these other ones as being more one-offs, more self-contained. I think she says Mangold is the same way. What she's basically saying is Kinberg's trilogy is the next continuation of the core part of the Star Wars episodic stuff. And so I believe the reason why and this is a sad thing to believe, but I believe the reason why they didn't mention the Rey Obey Chinoy movie is because any continuation of Rey's story, stupidly, is going to occur in Simon Kinberg's trilogy.
There it is. That's
and maybe, and possibly Sean Levy's movie if they need a bridge, right? Because that was the other rumor, right? But that, I think that has to be the reason why they literally talked about every other movie but the Rey, what we call the Rey movie.
That's too funny.
Well, it continues. This is the next iteration, the new saga that moves us into the future, she says. Deadline. And what about the one by Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy? And she says that's also in the future. It's all post the first 9. Sean is a standalone Star Wars story that'll take place post 9, maybe 5 or 6 years out. And Mandalorian really stands on its own because there we're dealing with a whole other era in the New Republic. I'm actually shocked she even could say anything about the New Republic. That's actually kind of surprising to me. We have I don't think she knows anything about Star Wars.
I think they've had all of this stuff percolating behind the scenes and had planned to announce it in Celebration. And she's having to say little bits and pieces about it here because of all this nonsense.
Yeah. We have other development going on in that space as well. So that's the space that we're pretty much focused on right at the moment, because obviously with Mandalorian, we have a pretty good sense of where that's going. And with this, it's going nowhere. It's one more movie and then we'll never see him again. There'll be some side character showing up occasionally.
Listen to what she says here, though.
And with this, it's all pretty much new characters. We may bring some of the characters back from the sequel saga, but pretty much new characters. There it is, folks. Star Wars is saved.
That's the Sean Levy movie that she's speaking of. The next movie after Mando and Grogu.
That's Rey right there. Yep.
And this is the episodic.
No, this is not Kinberg.
That's Kinberg.
This is the Sean Levy standalone next.
Wow.
So, but they don't say a word about Charmaine.
Nope. You will not find Charmaine mentioned at all. She's going to bring up Taika, for Christ's sake. But you're not going to find anything about
I don't think she's making the movie.
Nah, she's not making that movie.
Yeah. They're going to try to make Rey in a movie. It ain't going to be by Charmaine.
Nah, I think when she pulled that stun on New Year's Eve, that was the final nail in her coffin.
Yeah. All right. So let's continue here. Deadline. How many development type projects do you have percolating that you feel confident will turn into something down the line? Ooh, another wow. Because, most of what you say doesn't happen. To play it safe, I'd say 3 or 4 right now at the moment. And a large part of it, Mike, is who is the talent we're attaching. And that's a challenge in and of itself these days because people get really busy. So you find yourself having to wait with a lot of the top talent doing streaming and movies now. They're juggling schedules. And when you do Star Wars, you pretty much have to step into it and not have any other competing going on. It's a good 2 or 3 year minimum commitment, and that's tough to get top talent to be able to carve out. Oh, hell no. That kind of time, carve out. That's funny.
I saw it.
So that's part of the challenge as well. Guys, it was never a problem before they destroyed Star Wars.
Yeah.
It was
lining up to work
exactly.
Star Wars.
Who wants to do it now? You don't want this on your resume.
Well, and this is probably the Ryan Gosling, Zendaya rumors that have been swirling around out there. But she's, in a way, here she's kind of confirming that they're trying to get A-list talent, right? They're trying to go a direction that traditionally they haven't gone. Right. And so yeah, I'm with you, Coach. I think scheduling is a challenge because no actor right now wants their career ruined with the Star Wars movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of directors, writers, and actors that don't want any part of Disney Star Wars. And who wants any of these sequel trilogy characters to come back? I mean, other than
nobody.
Other than the
you guys want a Rose Tico season 1.
I mean, it would be
You
good
will
for
hit
views.
100K. I know exactly.
I know who
You're
does.
gonna have that plaque.
Derek Anderson would make 50-11 videos on that.
Oh, you better believe it.
and we'll make
we covering that whole episode, every show.
Yeah,
You know what the big problem I'm starting to realize when it comes to how they're doing Star Wars, how they're handling this franchise? They're trying to treat it like any other any other Hollywood franchise. They treat it exactly the same way as they would treat something out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe or any other like Jurassic World, big name blockbuster. Oh, we got to get A-list talent attached to it. And, we got to, soup it up with the best special effects and all that crap. They don't think about how Star Wars started in the first place. George Lucas hated Hollywood. He hated Hollywood. He hated everything about Hollywood. George Lucas was not a Hollywood guy. George Lucas was a maverick filmmaker. He made something different than what Hollywood blockbusters are, traditionally known for. The formula of how they try to, we got to, do this paint by numbers kind of sequence of events. This is how we make our movies. Star Wars does not fit into Hollywood. And that's why
he built Skywalker Studios, Skywalker Ranch outside of Hollywood.
Yeah. He built it in Northern California. He wanted nothing to do with Hollywood. That's and the guy that created that franchise sold it to the white slavers, as he said, and they have not been able to do anything with it. They've done nothing but try to Hollywoodize Star Wars, and they've ran it into the ground strictly off of that.
Modernized
it does not fit
for the modern audience.
It literally does not fit with Hollywood. You're talking about mythology, all right? He's the hero's journey, all right? You're talking about Eastern philosophy. Stuff from Akira Kurosawa. Look at who his, inspirations came from. It didn't come from Hollywood. It sure as hell didn't come from Hollywood.
World War II, the Knights Templar, it goes on and
King
on.
Arthur. Mm-hmm. I mean, all the way around. George was deep into the mythology of the world, and he made something that resonated with people. And Hollywood just doesn't understand it because they're all fake and phony over there. They don't understand people. And so they wanted to get their grubby mitts on Star Wars for the longest time. And now that they got it, they don't know what to do with it. They can't handle it because they're not true auteurs. They're not true, they don't have a true vision. They're just making content, which is what Star Wars feels like. It's just content in the Star Wars universe. That's the biggest problem that they got.
Yeah. And I do want to give credit where credit's due. Kathleen Kennedy is very talented because it takes a lot of talent to be able to F up something is the golden goose of Star Wars.
What he was going to say.
I mean, you have got to have massive talent to be able to
destroyed the Indestructible.
Yeah. I mean, literally, it was the Titanic, the ship that couldn't be sunk, and she was the iceberg.
She broke the blade that could not be broken.
Yeah.
And they don't have enough lifeboats. I mean, the whole thing fits, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, it's just going to continue down the same road from here. We're going to get more crappy Rey sequel trilogy and other crap that nobody cares about, and it's just like they're just going to do what they want, which will make for good videos for us here on YouTube. But for the franchise, it's not good at all.
Yeah. So we got 300 people in chat. If you're just coming in, Kathleen Kennedy had a published Q&A drop about an hour ago over on Deadline, and she basically let it be known that she's not retiring. She will make movies for the rest of her life, but there is a succession plan in place for her to step aside from Lucasfilm as president. And she makes it sound like they already know who it's going to be, but she also said that they will make the announcement when they feel the time is right. I don't think we're going to have to put up with her at Lucasfilm very much longer, but I'm with you guys. Look, it'll be great to see her gone. There's no doubt about that. That's a day. It'll be like, yes, she's gone. However, does that mean everything gets better? Not in any way. It has to. We actually have to see it get better before it gets better. And I just don't know a way around making it better if you're not going to retcon. And and these plans have nothing to do with that.
And she says a couple more things in this interview. One of them makes me personally sad, but it's not a surprise. So she addresses the time frame again.
Okay, well, look, you've still got the prequel with James Mangold. She says, yep, he's working on the script now. Simon's working on scripts now. Sean working on it. These guys are available now. Jim, he got delayed a bit because of the Dylan movie. So there's all that. And then Deadline says, any others that I've forgotten?
And her answer goes.
What about that Indian chick that hates men?
Listen to what her answer is.
Or the Ray movie.
Look, that's the one he means.
That's it. Well, I keep waiting for Taika, and he is working with another writer now, so he's busy. I love him. I think if we ever do get a script from Taika, it's going to be fantastic. I really saw a first act that I loved, but tying him down, it's tricky. Not a word about Charmaine.
No, but she's going to mention Gilroy in a second. She's going to mention everybody else.
My God.
No mention of the Ray movie.
The Ray, I agree with these guys. Ray's going to be in Levy's movie.
Yep.
If they're bringing back sequel trilogy characters for Levy's movie, it's going to be Ray, and it's going to be Oscar Isaac. It's movie number 2 that's coming out. It's the next movie after The Mandalorian. That's who it's going to be. And it'll probably be John Boyega. It's going to be freaking Star Wars episode, 10? Well, no, it's a standalone. But still.
9.5.
Horrible idea. Horrible idea. How could you not take those 3 characters and give us another trilogy? And somebody's clipping that because they think I mean it. That's how dumb they are. Okay. All right.
You can skip the Ragnarok one and go down to the next question. Here.
So even when you hand the reins to a Lucasfilm protege, it sure sounds like you're going to be in that world for 8 or 10 years. Fair? I don't know if I'm going to say that, but yeah, it's possible.
Remember, she's 71 now. She's 71. So as much as she might want to stick around for the Kinberg movie, by the time we get Mando and Grogu out there in 26, let's say Levy's movie comes out in 28, just giving it something, right? So that's 3 more years. Now she's pushing 75. She's not going to stick around she would literally be 10 more years plus to get all of the Kinberg stuff.
I don't see that happening either. I don't see her sticking around that long. But, I mean, I still feel like they're going to make some announcement this year about the future of Lucasfilm. Maybe not at Celebration. Maybe it's going to be towards the end of the fiscal year. I don't know, but they got to do something, man. This is spiraling out of control, and it's getting bad. It's already bad. It's as bad as it can get. It's getting worse with this now, controversy of whether she's leaving or not.
Am I the only one here that's reading this as she's going to be around for another 3 or 4 years?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think she is.
I think it's a year or less.
Yeah, I do too.
It depends on what we mean by around, right? Around as president of Lucasfilm, I think a year or less. Around producing these films
forever,
as long as the films take.
Yeah.
If she's producing films, is she really gone? Is she is she still wielding some influence? You know what I'm saying?
But there's talk of her starting her own company again.
Well,
this might not necessarily be Disney movies. She wants to start like an AI production company and all these things.
That's the next thing they ask her.
Okay.
Let's keep going. Yeah.
That's the next thing they ask her. What about working with your husband? What about Spielberg? And you'll see what she says.
Yeah, let's hit these super chats real quick. You guys be patient, and we're gonna roll right back into the article here. Debbie Young, 1999. I bet 100% she leaked this information out knowing it would give her a chance to come out and put it away. She wants it to put it the way she wants it to be, so that she put them in a tough position. So now it'll be her way. What a witch she is. You might be right, Debbie. You might be right.
Well, Stephanie Janisek said today.
Who?
Stephanie Janisek, smuggler.
Who is that?
Oh no!
Said today that Jon Favreau was ordered to leak this evidence.
Oh, how dare you speak my name? Hey, black pills. You're not Fence Riders, you're black pills.
Yeah, so apparently, according to her, freaking Favreau was the one that was ordered to put all this information out there.
Favreau doesn't want anything to do with this circus.
No.
It doesn't want anything to do with the monkeys, the circus, the tents, none of it.
Absolutely not.
And if that was new to you guys, I apologize. That's a little inside joke here.
And Favreau's not even an employee of Lucasfilm.
Thank goodness.
So he's not part of the bench that she's talking about over there.
No, not at all.
Doing Stephanie's voice hurt my throat.
I couldn't imagine. You need to smoke more.
Yeah. Oh, that's so messed up. Okay. Thank you, Debbie, for that big 1999 super chat. We love you. Happy birthday again. Veritech 2000 member for 10 months says they will never retcon the pathetic sequels. The message will always come first. Star Wars is dead. Let us point and laugh at the Disney Star Wars fans. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, brother. You are not wrong. Debbie Young, also with a $9.99 super chat. Sorry, I have to use voice to chat. I'm having a surgery on my right hand March 5th. I have severe bone spur, and they have to remove a piece of my thumb to get it better. So bear with me for a little bit. We love you. Be praying for you. Let us know. Keep us updated. Bear. Keep us updated. All right.
And I will open up your package as soon as I get home, Debbie.
All right.
On stream.
All right. We love you, Debbie. Scott Westbrook gifted 5 Echo Base Network memberships. That makes Scott 20 Westbrook. New members tonight. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, guys. We got 299 strong in chat, so we've been holding 300 the whole night. This is awesome, guys. Thanks for watching, and we appreciate you, Scott. Idiocynical. Risman, are you single?
I had to highlight that one.
Yes, I am.
Hey,
hard to believe, I'm sure.
Hey,
hard to believe.
Yeah. There's another one of us on the panel that's single too, and it's not Nick, and it's not Knee Pain, and it's not me.
The process of elimination.
This stud muffin right here below me. Okay,
I'm retired. I'm retired. I hung my.
We have a video.
Are you retired like KK? Or are you really retired?
Retired like KK. That's a shirt. If we only had a merch store. Okay. All right. Venger, 10 pounds. There's a new poster for the 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith reshowing. It looks very nice. Also, rest in peace to Gene Hackman, his wife and dog, and Michelle Trachtenberg, Buffy's sis and Buffy. The Vampire Slayer, 39 years old. Yeah, I loved Gene Hackman, one of my favorite actors. Hoosiers is my favorite sports movie of all time. And Nick will tell you, like, that's my Star Wars in the sports world. Like, I've probably seen the movie Hoosiers 300 times. So based on my favorite basketball coach of all time. So that was that's a good one. Venger, thank you for that.
speaking of, I watched a video today on Larry Bird, and Gilbert Arenas was talking about how he thinks Larry Bird would take LeBron James on one-on-one.
So do I.
Yeah, if they're both in their prime.
So do I.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard to beat Bird one-on-one.
Dude, I watched another dude that knew nothing about Larry Bird and watched a highlight reel of his, and he was like, "What?" Like his passing game,
he's one of the greatest passers ever live.
Yeah, the dude had no clue about Larry Bird.
Most people don't.
Yeah,
most people don't.
Yeah,
there's only one player that was clearly better than Bird, and he played for Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, Venger, thank you so much for that. Valiant Renegade, holy moly, mother of God, $49.99. Speaking of, read your super chat now. No, in your radio voice, do it.
Fine. Welcome aboard. This is Valiant Renegade. I hope everybody's joining us from X and from YouTube. I just shared the link out for Echo Base on YouTube and on X because I'm such an awesome guy.
Thank you. And 6 people have left since you got on.
I know. We went down. It went down.
Yeah. I know. That doesn't surprise me at all. I've been pissing everyone off lately with this story because I covered every angle. So when I talked about Kathleen Kennedy, I said, hey, I'm going to give you here's why I think it's real. Here's why I think it could not be. I pissed everyone off.
The other night. Me and Valiant went through the whole thing the other night.
Yeah, I pissed everyone off. Love this show and the EBN fam from this complete homo Valiant Renegade. So, there we go.
Hell,
all right, so thoughts?
No, wait, pull that one back up again. I saw that. You took it down too early.
What? Oh, yeah,
I saw VR. Yeah, yes. You're freaking awesome. See that? I notice how you just glossed right over that one. Coach's wife is sending him hate text right now. What Coach doesn't know is that I'm texting her to tell him, tell her what to say to him to piss him off. So, yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Grogu. Get him, Grogu.
That's fine.
All right, so Valiant, all this scuttlebutt about Kathleen Kennedy, and then tonight Deadline releases this huge question and answer interview. And, bro.
Did you read the whole thing, Valiant?
They actually asked her some very tough questions. Right? I've never seen her get asked these things.
We're not even she basically confirmed everything. If you actually read it and you see what she says, she's like, oh, I'm never going to stop making movies. Like, are you leaving Lucasfilm? I'm never going to stop making movies.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, Joe Biden, is Kamala Harris going to win? I love corn pop. That's the same shit. It's like, God, I'm sorry. It's like, it's so ridiculous.
It's like asking me, it's like, you ever going to sell your truck and get an EV? It's like, I'm never going to stop driving.
Right. Here's a simple thing. I said this on the live show, the special live show I did Tuesday night. And the live show I did Tuesday night was, I woke up that morning and I'm thinking, you know what? I'll have time this afternoon. I'm going to cover the AMC Theater earnings call. I really want to do this. I haven't done it in like a year. And then that bitch, Kathleen Kennedy, had to go and screw up my whole day. And that live show turned into that. So
4 hours.
You look at the answers that that THR and Variety got from Disney, and it was either they declined to reply, or they said basically nothing's been decided. It was all a dodge. And look, I've told people since Tuesday night, I said the reason, and Andre from Midnight's Edge was on the show with me, he agreed. It's like, look, this is Matt Bellany that broke this story. Yes. Matt Bellany, as I continue to remind people, this is a dude that when literally everybody else, Variety, THR, Deadline, everybody 4 years, 3 years ago, whatever it was, speculating on would Alan Horn go to Warner Brothers. Alan Horn, who was the chairman of Disney Studios. Alan Horn, who was Kathleen Kennedy's boss at Disney. The only man between her and Bob Iger. Alan Horn, who had been at Disney for decades. Matt Bellany was like, well, I got tired of everybody trying to figure out what Alan Horn was doing. I picked up my iPhone and I called Alan at his house and I said, hey, let's go to lunch. And he met me, and here's the interview. I mean, that's Matt Bellany. So if Matt Bellany at Puck is going to bat with a full-blown article that says Kathleen Kennedy is retiring, I'm going with it. Because it's him. And he has bona fide, high-level C-suite connections at Disney. And if he can go to lunch on a whim with a phone call with a guy like Alan Horn, you know he's got Alan Bergman's number, who is Kennedy's new boss and who was the co-chair with Horn when Horn was retiring. Look, I speculated Tuesday night, probably Bellany's information that he said was he talked to 3 different sources or whatever it was. I guarantee you one of those sources was from the C-suite. And I said, although I can't guarantee it, obviously, I suspect one of those sources may have been Bergman himself. That's just me. And that's based on the fact that I have followed Bellany's reporting over the years, and I don't agree with a lot of what he says politically, obviously. He's not a big Trump fan, he's not a Republican, he's very liberal, but the guy has his absolute unquestionable connections in Hollywood.
So here's the thing.
And he got it from 3 different people.
But here's my thing. I agree with everything that you just said. Deadline comes out with this report days after 3 days after all of this KK talk, and everything so far, we've recovered 80% of the article, is pretty much confirmed. She's pretty much saying, I'm going to make movies forever, so I'm not retiring.
Right.
But yeah, there's a plan in place for me to leave Lucasfilm, and it could happen in a year or so. And we'll make the announcement when the time's right.
Exactly.
She's leaving. Everything, she said it. Everything is confirmed. Why come out with this article with Deadline? Why do this interview? Why answer these questions? You just confirmed what everybody was talking about for 3 days.
She wanted to control the narrative. She wants to have her say, you know?
Yes.
And she doesn't want it to be distracting.
She's never done this before.
No.
It confirms that it's all real.
Yes, exactly. Kennedy is not one to come out. She knows what the fan base thinks of her. I mean, she might be an idiot. She might be retarded, but she's not 1,000% retarded, just 900%. So, I mean, she gets the pocket that she's been placed in. I mean, she has been talking about, and look, go back, read this Deadline article, and then I want you to read some of the things that Matt Bellany very, very astutely reminded everybody of. She sold her house in L.A. last year. And we all talked about it. We speculated, right? Because, again, Kathy is not a Southern California girl. She's a Northern California girl. Lucasfilm's office, their corporate office, is in Frisco. It's in San Francisco, okay? She's not a Southern California girl. And then when you compound that with the fact that this has been going on, Bellany even said that she was due to retire last year, but then kind of a last-minute shift-a-roo, she hung around, right? So it's obvious that what we have all speculated on for a while, Kennedy's still in charge of her own contract, unfortunately. The only explanation for why she's still there. But she talked about, hey, you know what? I'd like to start working with Frank more on his movies. There's been so many indications out there. Like I said, hey, look, she's 70 years old. She's going to be 72 this year. It's time for her to go.
Yeah, she even skipped 71, bitch.
Yeah. So, no, this is it. She's not retiring from movies. We made some kind of tongue-in-cheek speculations Tuesday night on the live show talking about, hey, look, we've said, and Coach Nick, y'all have heard me say this for a while, I was one of the first people, I think, because there were so many folks out there calling for Kathy was going to be fired. Kathy Kennedy will be fired. I think I was one of the first people I can remember ever saying, look, Kathy is never going to be fired. She is going to be gloriously, ceremoniously retired. She will never be dragged out and frog marched in handcuffs for her crimes against Star Wars. It's never going to happen. She is going to be very graciously retired. And one of the first things I said 3 years ago was, look for the awards ceremonies. If she walks out on the stage at the Oscars and gets a Lifetime Achievement Award, you'll know. Well, the Oscars are this Sunday.
To be fair, you also said that it was going to happen after Indiana Jones.
Yep, I did. That's what we had all heard, was that she was going to be sticking around through Indiana Jones. You're right. We did say that. We absolutely did. And Indiana Jones came and went. But again, going back to Matt Bellany's article, he said that there was a plan for her to retire last year, right after the year, because Indiana Jones came out in late summer of last year.
It made sense, bro.
Yeah,
it told. Yeah, we smelt it coming, and it didn't happen.
And this point, I think about she's been hiding for a while, and now if she's getting all these awards and she wants to stump for Andor and these movies and yada yada yada, Celebration is coming. She doesn't want every question asked her, the very first one being, "Are you retiring tomorrow?
Bingo.
What about your retirement?" Right.
Yeah,
so she's got to put out this epistle.
Well,
right?
I love
epistle here.
Yes. I love John Recultured's comment here. KK is mad. Someone released this before she wanted.
Yes.
You could clearly see that when she's talking about how Star Wars gets scrutinized like no other brand.
Yeah.
And that she just can't understand it and how things get out. Payne alluded to it earlier today. Somebody's probably putting in for a job, looking for work.
Yeah.
Whoever leaked this out,
Feige?
Because it's legit.
Feige?
Well, she's gonna in a second here in the article, she's gonna address working with Frank and Spielberg, and they're gonna Tony Gilroy us, and I mean they're gonna cover all the rest of the bases of what people are saying, and then it ends with again, "Are you leaving anytime soon?" And I'm leaving when I'm ready. Right? Maybe it's in a few months, maybe it's this year. It is when it's going to be. I'm 100% in charge of it.
So they asked her in the article, any regrets?
This is when she said I was never an executive before.
Yeah, the subtext is any regrets as the head of Lucasfilm.
Yeah,
Kathy?
softball question. Softball.
No, I mean far from regrets. I've loved the challenge of stepping into this space, and literally space. This is gonna piss y'all off. And literally space and being with Star Wars over these years, taking on the challenge of expanding on Star Wars. I've loved working with Disney, and the company has been fantastic in its support of the IP. They've expanded things in ways I don't think George could have ever imagined.
Because they were in his nightmares.
Awful.
God.
Just a bunch of nothing. And then she starts talking Tony Gilroy here.
Wait, I've never been an executive before. Why are you telling on yourself?
Yeah, I've never been an executive before. She's been in the role since 2012, and she's saying this now.
No.
She's never been executive before.
No. Wait, hang on, back up. This is the stupidity. Highlight the next sentence.
Yeah.
As well with it. Okay, I've never been an executive before. I'm a filmmaker through and through. Literally, this woman doesn't even know who she is or what she's done for the last 40 flipping years. All she has ever been is working on the executive side of things, whether as a secretary fetching coffee and popcorn for Stephen and George and Richard and Robert and everybody else and Chris down the line, okay? But she has never been a filmmaker. She has never been a creative. This right here, this line in this Deadline article absolutely should, in everybody's mind, bring them clarity on what's happened to Star Wars in the last 13 years, is because this dumb woman actually thinks that she is a filmmaker when she is anything but. There is nothing
Never made
in her,
one film.
No, there is nothing in her history that designates her as a filmmaker.
No.
She was a phone caller. She was somebody who got to open a little black book that Stephen and George handed her and said, call these people and bring them in. Her biggest claim to fame was sleeping with Stephen and George and Chris and Robert's and Richard's friend, Frank, and then marrying him and then getting into this. I've said this before. She's the Hillary Clinton of Hollywood. This is somebody that will grift her way to the top with absolutely no talent, no merit, nothing. Yes, she has been on the executive side, but that's all she's been on. She's never been. I'm telling you right now, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg are reading this kind of article and laughing at her remarks like that.
Yeah. Filmmaker.
And then
Yeah.
Coach
I'm looking at her IMDb. There is nothing about
Yeah, she's
directing. Nothing.
Writing.
And-
She was in a
Executive
position to
writing.
make sure the filmmaker, the
Yeah.
real filmmakers, had what they needed.
Yeah.
That's all.
People
That's
don't
it.
understand what producers and executive producers are under the PGA rules, the Producers Guild of America rules. It's a very broad scoped definition. And I mean, it can be anything from you were able to get this actor to come on board or this director to come on board, or you made something happen there. I mean, this is why, and y'all talked about this earlier, you know, how Kathleen Kennedy would still be attached to Star Wars for years. Well, the reason for that is, and it's true, the reason for that is just in the same vein that we all see George Lucas's name listed as an EP on every Star Wars thing in the last 13 years. It's because the Producers Guild of America dictates that. Those are the PGA rules. Because he created Star Wars, even though he sold it to Disney, he still, under PGA rules and Hollywood rules, has to get credit. They have to pay some stipend for him. Kathleen Kennedy is likely also to still get, until she's dead, and then her estate will continue to get it, she will still get visible text credits as a producer or an executive producer on Star
Sure.
Wars
Her name
for
will
the
be on the
rest of
credits.
eternity. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's done.
That's why Gene Roddenberry's name still pops up in everything.
Star
Kurtzman's
Trek.
done.
It
As
has
it-
to.
Well, I
That's
almost
it.
said as it should, but it shouldn't.
If Gene Roddenberry was still alive, he would probably
like,
demand take my name off
be
this
taken-
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
take
yeah,
my name
exactly.
off.
Yeah.
And so, Coach, the one thing she did say about Tony Gilroy here is don't expect him to do anything else. She said it in a nice way, but she basically said once Andor season 2 is done, don't, because they said, can you twist Tony Gilroy's arm to do anything else in Star Wars? And she said, I think he's had enough after 10 years worth. I think he wants to go do other things, which he's said as well. So that pretty much means, because
Which is
remember, there was a
perfectly fine.
rumor that he had signed some deal and yada, yada, yada. And it was
He's
gonna
getting
be
a trilogy.
Gilroy.
You're getting a trilogy.
And he really ain't even have worked there 10 years. I mean, you realize after Andor season 2 and Ahsoka season 2, do you realize right now, stop and think about this, there is literally nothing that anybody knows of in pre-production, in development, nothing for Disney Plus. Star Wars is done. It is literally, there's nothing else out there. There's the Mando movie. There's this bullshit Rey movie that's
Sean
never going to
Levy
come
movie's number 2.
Yeah, whatever.
She never mentions the Ray movie here. The
No.
Ray movie's not
In
out.
this entire article, the Ray movie and Charmin Obeid-Chinoy was never mentioned.
And-
They
and-
even asked her, Valiant, is there anybody else we're forgetting? Is there any? Because she mentioned everybody.
She brings up Taika again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Tony Gilroy 10 years comes from him in Rogue One, right? Him coming in and fixing up Rogue One and all that. So it hasn't been a contiguous 10 years, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. So Sodak Choppa, $9.99 super chat. The only way to properly get rid of her is in the style of Vader getting rid of Creamy Sheev. But that hat leaves us open for somehow Kathleen returned. Oh boy, oh boy.
What
oh
a
boy.
terrible line in The Rise of the Soy Walker. Somehow Palpatine's returned. What?
Yeah. I can guarantee you I will never watch that movie again.
Never.
Giant wet fart.
It
I will
was
never
one
watch-
time.
I will never watch none of those sequel movies again.
Yeah. I might watch The Force Awakens one day, but it might be hard. I don't know.
That's because you're a Ray lover, Coach.
That's
I'm a
because
fence-
that's what a fence
I'm a
rider would do.
fence
Coach.
riding.
Yeah.
Just for the Luke scene at the end, but then, you can't help but think about what they did to him. So, anyways, Dragon Master Zero with a big $30 super chat. Thank you, bro. The only thing KK ever gave a F about was messing up anything she thought was not female oriented. What was the result? Disney and Star Wars graves, and she'll get her millions, never caring about the craft itself. Agreed.
Absolutely.
Not wrong. Not
Agreed.
wrong.
Agenda
Absolutely.
over entertainment. Agenda over substance.
Well, it is entertainment to her. She thinks she's doing the Lord's work over there.
Oh God.
Yeah. I guess. Thank you so much, Dragon Master Zero. Guys, we appreciate all the super chats and member chats and gifted memberships. We are UR Echo Base Network. Here, a little bit of real Star Wars. Got 334 strong. So, Valiant, thanks for bringing in some people here with you. We appreciate that. Welcome to all the people over from VR's channel. That is awesome. All right, guys. Any other like closing thoughts or remarks? If you guys came in late, Kathleen Kennedy, everybody's been talking about her for 3 days, but the report was just released this evening, about an hour and a half ago, from Deadline, that basically proved everything that the leakers said.
Yep.
Kathleen Kennedy is not going to retire. She's still going to make movies, but her time at Lucasfilm is quickly coming to an end. There is a succession plan in place. So we are going to be watching for that. Who's it going to be, guys?
I still think it's Carrie Beck and Dave Filoni.
Oh God, the worst, dude.
Valiant.
Worst possible
we not just
scenario.
say
Yeah.
We
the
just
worst
I'm gonna hold out.
scenario?
I'm
That
going
is
to hold
the
out for
worst
the only
combination.
scenario.
Oh,
I'm going to
God.
hold out for the ultimate dream scenario, which won't happen, would be the most amazing one, is that Gina Carano is appointed president as a part of the agreement to drop the case.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
What
sign me
what
up.
OnlyFans porn bot were you subscribed to when you came up with that one? Did that cost $500 for the panty drop?
No. I think it's gonna be George Lucas. He's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it.
he's taking
Stop
over.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Don't you even say
George,
that.
George is
No.
coming back, guys.
No. That dude is so tired at the end.
He
Oh,
can't
my
even
God.
hardly walk anymore. So
Yeah.
he's definitely
Yeah, I imagine he's having a hard time moving around.
I don't think he
mean,
would ever
was-
come back and work for Disney anyway. It's no chance in hell.
Well, there was so
Yeah,
much more beyond Disney. I mean, the whole drama with the Grady Ranch falling through, that really burned him out. When he tried building the third studio on Skywalker Ranch, and all the HOAs on Lucas Valley Road fought him, fought a very bloody battle to stop the project. And yeah, he
I
was
hadn't heard about that.
Yep, the Grady Ranch project. Yeah, he was so pissed off. He said in a interview that he was going to sell the property to build low-income housing to drive down their property value, which never actually happened. But yeah, he was pissed.
Terrible.
X-Wing, you missed the whole stream, dude.
Just rewind.
Just rewind.
No, we're
Just
not
rewind.
doing this
Yes.
again.
She made a statement. We're
Yes.
not about to go.
Yes.
Good. What a statement it was, man.
Come on to show Sunday, X-Wing, since you missed the other night, you jackass.
Yeah. Now,
Oh, my goodness.
so while we let people have a chance to chime in on anything else, you guys want to go around and get? I'm curious everybody's thoughts on the Andor season 2 trailer, because we haven't covered that or talked about that at all.
We've not.
Does anybody care?
I don't.
I care, but that's
I-
not
I thought
Well,
the
everybody
trailer-
knows you care, Risman.
I thought the trailer's visuals were great, and it looks like it's going to tell a very interesting story. I'm really interested in that release schedule because that's fascinating. How they're dropping basically 3 episodes every week. They're
They
not gonna
have to.
roll them all out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
why they're,
I'm
you know
just-
why
I
they're
think
doing
it's-
that?
Yeah, they have to. They
gotta do everything and they can in their power to kind of help the viewership.
They
So
did
I'm-
it
gotten
register on the
murdered.
ratings list.
They've been
Yeah.
murdered on Nielsen. They've been murdered on Luminate. My God, Skeleton Crew, not a single week of Skeleton Crew, not even the first week where they dropped 2 or 3 episodes,
Awful.
like 90 minutes. Not even that week charted. It didn't even make the top 20 from what I heard. I mean, it was
crazy
so
is
bad.
that as bad as we heard about Andor's viewership, and it was bad when it was out, Andor always charted in the top 10 with Nielsen. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it is with Skeleton Crew that it couldn't get in there. Not
Acolyte barely hung on. I mean, and that was only because.
In the beginning.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Watched.
That was hate watch, right? Everybody watched it to see lesbian space witches and laugh at it.
Yeah.
Well, over and above the ratings bit, I don't think they backed themselves into a bit of a corner with this 1 year. Each 3 episodes is 1 year arc business, and I think Gilroy said, "We're going to release these as though they're 4 movies.
4 movies.
Each one's a year. We can't do what we did the last time." With the year jump and all this nonsense. And so that's why they're doing this.
Other TV shows have done that just fine and successfully. It's just that nobody's watching Disney Star Wars is the problem.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the people who are going to watch Andor Season 2 are the ones who watched Andor Season 1, either while it was airing or afterwards, word of mouth. And I don't think anything about the teaser, music or otherwise, is going to cause people to watch Andor Season 2. I just hope it's good.
Yeah.
Congratulations on spending twice as much money to produce it as Stranger Things and getting 1/5 the audience. That's awesome, Disney. You guys are rocking it, and I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I saw a comment
I enjoyed the
chat.
trip. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Nick.
well, I was just going to make one quick point. I was just going to say, look what they did with Godzilla -1 and the budget they did with that. You know,
$10 million.
Yeah, these inflated budgets are insane. Like they have got to freaking get some freaking reins on these people spending all this money. I don't know where it's all going. Like it. I mean, the only thing I can think of is it's like money laundering or fraud or something where it's just actually not going into the actual project. It's just going into people's pockets because I don't see the money spent on these projects when I watch the shows.
You asked about Andor, and I never got to respond.
Yeah.
I thought the trailer looked great. It actually has me looking forward to watching the end of the story.
I enjoyed it until my Bluetooth headphones connected, and then I was like, "What is this?"
It didn't feel the music definitely wasn't Star Wars music, but it didn't make me hate the trailer. So that's
the music weirded me out. That was the big thing.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it yet, and it's already getting a 0 out of 10 for Star Wars for me. I'll give a.
We know, Nick. We know it's a 0 out of 10. We know it's worse than the Acolyte. We know.
Yeah, no, look, I will rate it on it just being a sci-fi show, but the Disney Star Wars crap, it's just, oh man, it's just so bad. I'm so jaded. I can't with that.
Look, to be clear, I never watched the first season of Andor. I watched the first 30 minutes of it. I just couldn't get into it. I didn't care. I've never said that Andor was a bad show. The only thing I've ever criticized Andor for was its viewership compared to its budget. Mm-hmm. And at this point, Disney has, according to their own financial data, $650 million invested in Andor between seasons 1 and 2.
At least 650.
Exactly. Wow. And that isn't complete. But with the Kennedy thing, look, I think that's a big part of it. I think that's a big part of the problem that's going down. And we've talked about this before ad nauseum. Kathleen Kennedy is a terrible businesswoman. She's a terrible business manager. She's a terrible studio manager. She is a terrible creative. And the proof's in the pudding. Once Kathleen Kennedy was given her own rails to ride on in 2012, everything went in the shitter. Production went to crap, massive overruns. And, the big thing here at this point is it's all about business. And with Bob Iger retiring, I don't think it's an accident that Kennedy has been looking at her exit as well. And I think part of the reason this article went out, and let's pretend, and I want to make that clear for the audience, let's pretend for a minute that one of Matt Bellany's sources was indeed somebody like Alan Bergman. And I don't think that's necessarily a deep stretch, considering...
No, not at all.
The people we know that Alan or that Bellany knows. If you wanted to try to get Kathy off the toilet, the old quote-unquote, pardon my French, shit or get off the pot situation, if you were to leak something like this, like we've been trying to get her to leave for a while, we're going to make it happen this year, one way or another. Bellany's not the worst person in the world to get that to put it out there because of the respect he has. And Kathy has to come out and respond to this with this ridiculous, nonsensical interview and deadline. And clearly she's avoiding the question. And I said this Tuesday night. This is a real simple answer. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be sticking around through the next Rey movie. Right? That's all she had to say. Did she say that? No. She said nothing remotely close. She literally dodged the question and basically told everybody that, yes, this is happening right now. This is just a matter of timing.
I agree with Derek. She wants to control the narrative. There's
Yep.
no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt about it. For the very first time, the report comes out, and this time it was right.
Yep.
And she's not the one that got to say, release it. Somebody else did. It was leaked. She's pissed about it. Her time is coming to an end as the president of Lucasfilm. Does that mean great things for Star Wars? Not in any way whatsoever.
Nope.
Not in any way. Are we going to be glad to see her gone? Heck yeah. But that does not mean Star Wars is going to get an ounce better. Okay? I got to hit this super chat. Knows McQueen Kathleen says, McQueen will destroy Avatar and Lord of the Rings even more now. Diversity is coming to Pandora. Thank you so much, McQueen Kathleen. Guys, I'm going to let Nick and Risman close it out. I have to bounce. See you guys later. Love y'all. Thank you all. Got 330 people here. Thank you so much. Nick and I will shoot to be live this weekend, Risman, and we will actually go through all of the topics for tonight's show. This just broke. We changed the plan. It's been a Kathleen Kennedy, statement deal. Derek will be talking about this over on his channel tonight, so go and check that out. Love you guys. You are Echo Base Network. Now listen to Valiant Renegade talk some more. See y'all.
Dick!
I'll see you on the fence.
I have no comment.
Go watch your Mako Mermaids.
Oh my God! Officially, Coach is gayer than Cobra Cast. That's
bad. That's bad. I'll believe it.
That's pushing it.
I hate you.
Andor 2 for me. Listen, I didn't mind last Andor. I'm very apathetic, and I've been kind of reflecting a little bit on, and I talk about this, Derek. I'm just kind of like dead about the franchise, and I kind of realized something that irked me. It's still kind of irking me from Skeleton Crew, and because I connected recently with some people I worked with at the last animation studio I left before I left the industry, and we worked on little kids' movies, little TV shows, Netflix shows, literally stuff my grandson watches. Okay, when I had my critique about like Skeleton Crew, and people's like, "Hey, you gotta be nicer. It's a kid's show. It's a kid's show. You need to be nicer. You need to be nicer." I was like, one, I wasn't being mean, but two, it wasn't kids who directed it. It wasn't kids who wrote it. It wasn't kids who did the VFX. It was made by experienced adults.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't care if it's a kid's show. I don't care. Andor 2 is made by highly paid, high budget professionals. I'm going to hold it all in very high regard, and I'm going to criticize all of it. And I think just kind of looking back, just kind of like, I don't know, it's just all that's really just turning me off. Not just the franchise, just kind of the let's make excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like, and Nick, we never attacked the kids. So when we attacked the writing, we attacked the editing. Guess what? I guarantee the editorial suite was a bunch of fucking adults.
Yeah.
The directors were adults.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, even when you worked on Rebels, when you were at Lucasfilm,
we were all adults.
Yeah, exactly.
The last kids show I worked on that did get awards. It was a very good kids show. I actually do enjoy my grandson watching it. We were all adults. And you know what? That crew took that work very seriously. They weren't like, oh, it's just a little kid show. No, they were very serious about their jobs. And they're professionals, and they got awards.
And it showed, and the product showed that. right? I mean, I think from a Rebels for many of us is one of the best Star Wars stories they've told.
It was dark. Like when I was watching it, because I watched it when it aired originally. You know, I had it record on DVR. I watched every episode as the week that it dropped. For the every single season, and when I was watching Rebels, especially towards the end, like it was dark. It was not like a kiddie show
at all.
Yeah. So
well done.
Yeah.
Speaking of Andor, trailer was fine. Like I said, the music ruined a lot of the feel of it. Didn't feel like Star Wars. Again, I laugh at Tony Gilroy can make a masterpiece, and then some idiot putting together a trailer. It's like, hey, let's slap this music on there. Star Wars fans will love it.
Those are the marketing folks, right? Gilroy didn't pick that song.
No, but that's what my point is that Gilroy can make a masterpiece of a show and say, hey, here's the footage. Oh, go ahead, Trailer Barn, do what you do. And then these idiots get together, and this is how they put this thing together. They have idiots working at Lucasfilm. That just kind of solidifies that. But in terms of this, the trailer itself, if you clean the music out of it, it's actually interesting. Because it kind of shows Andor walking through the various stages of his
and fans have already done that.
What's that?
Look, the fans have already done that. You can literally go
out. Yeah. You talk about removing
with that music out. In Star Wars music put in there.
But it's probably going to be a decent show. I'm looking forward to it.
And speaking of Rebels, we may end up on Lothal yet in Andor, right? So there's going to be some interesting things in this season, and I think one of the things they highlighted in the trailer is, whereas the first season I think was really setting up Andor's indoctrination, this next season's going to be all about him causing trouble, kicking ass, things blowing up, doing things that people liked in Rogue One.
Right.
I think this is going to be a lot of that. And it's a shame, I think, because people probably expect it to be like Andor season 1 was. And that's why a lot of people may not be going to give it a chance. And I don't think it's going to be anything like Andor season 1 at all from a story perspective.
I think it's going to be more fast-paced.
Yep. Well, just for judging from the trailer, it looks like it's gonna be, K2SO's coming back. So
that's what I think Disney's hoping for a ratings boost, that they get more people watching, because there is something great about having Alan Tudyk back to play that character. Yeah. And look, here's the thing, Alan Tudyk doing K2SO again, from a marketing standpoint, is going to give the Disney social media team a lot of little clips to throw out there that are going to be big hits, right? Because Tudyk is a funny guy. He makes a lot of great. I mean, provided they gave him a good script, or hopefully, more likely, they just kind of let him vamp. They kind of let him go improv on some of these lines, because that's where he's really brilliant. So I think that's what Disney's hoping for, but they've got to climb the Luminate and the Nielsen charts, because they've been getting humiliated soundly on streaming. Disney Plus is still losing a lot of money. People are misinterpreting how Disney has restructured their financial reports. It's like, oh, Disney streaming is starting to turn a quarterly profit. I'm like, yeah, take Hulu out and tell me how it looks. Because Disney Plus is still deep in the shitter. They're still deep in the hole.
I mean, we were talking about this on Pro Show last night. Between Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Max, those are the 4 that are in the bundle, right?
There is a bundle that you get through Hulu with the bundle, but I mean, as far as the Disney bundle, like the full bundle is ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. The primary bundle is D Plus and Hulu. Now, just to be clear, when Disney reports on their financials every quarter, they have recast it to where, and I think it's a fair way to do it. Hulu and Disney Plus report under the entertainment branch. ESPN Plus reports under the sports branch of Disney now. So they are separated. But the problem with Disney, and this is the issue for investors, they've played fast and loose with how they've tracked these numbers over the years. At first, it was Disney Plus will be profitable by 2024. And then, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, they very quietly, what do I always say about Disney? They never come out and apologize. They don't do mea culpas. They sneak in little changes in the dead of night, and you wake up and finally figure out what happened. Well, they do that with their financial reports. About a year and a half ago, all of a sudden, profitability for Disney Plus by 2024 became profitability for DTC, direct to consumer, which then included Hulu, which Hulu generates a profit. Hulu is an advertising juggernaut. So they started compiling that in with Disney Plus numbers. And then you will never see a day, at least in the foreseeable future, where Disney Plus's own financials, their income, their total revenue, and their operating income will be broken out separately. Because if Wall Street saw that, they would shit 5 cats and a chicken. Okay? I'm just telling you that's probably how bad it is.
Well, and also on this point, it wasn't for the user experience that they integrated Hulu watching into Disney Plus's app when you have Hulu and Disney together. It wasn't whatever they want to spin to you, right? It was this whole notion of trying to reap the benefit of that combined powerhouse in their numbers. Because now I watch a lot of my Hulu content directly through Disney Plus. You can't do it the other way around. You can't watch Disney Plus content through Hulu. Gee, I wonder why.
No,
it's not what they were going for.
They've coalesced. And look, don't forget, Moff, here's the big kicker. And people think about, oh, well, Hulu will be a big help. Disney has a market cap, meaning what Wall Street thinks they're worth based on the price per share and all their outstanding shares. Wall Street thinks Disney's worth $200 billion. I want to remind folks that in the last 5 years alone, Disney's stock price has really not changed. But Disney has spent almost $100 billion buying Fox and then paying
they've done nothing with.
And then paying Comcast another $15 billion on top of that to get the rest of Hulu that they didn't own.
Yeah.
That's basically what Disney has done with that. $70 billion for Fox, $15 billion for Hulu, or for Comcast to get their share of Hulu. Because Disney already owned a third of it. And then they picked up Fox's third with that purchase, and now they're trying to get Comcast, NBC's third. $85 billion basically to buy 2/3 of a streaming service. Look at what Netflix is doing right now. I keep reminding people Netflix is making less than half the total revenue of Disney in the past fiscal year, 2025 or 2024. But Netflix turned a profit of over $10 billion for that fiscal year with less than half the revenue of Disney. And Disney's total dollar profit for the same fiscal year was less than $12 billion. Basically, Netflix is making almost the same amount of cash money in hand with nothing but a streaming service, while Disney has theme parks and cruise ships and ESPN and live sports and, $100 billion of hotels and it's insane.
Yeah, and all those combined, Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max, ESPN Plus, combined still don't even match the numbers Hulu gets, even if you combine all of those. Because that's one of the things we were talking about on Pro Show last night when Pro was pulling up the numbers on it, and I was like, wow, all 4 of those streaming services combined don't even match Netflix's numbers.
No. And what's even funnier is that Paramount Plus, who has quite literally half the subscribers of Disney Plus, Paramount Plus will put out Tulsa King and Landman and The Lioness and the Taylor Sheridan shows, quite literally pulling roughly 7 to 10 times the audience of any Marvel or Disney Star Wars show.
That's crazy.
And we're talking about shows that cost Paramount probably 1/2 to 1/3 of what Disney is spending to make.
Landman was only what, $60 million budget for that whole first season?
I think so, something like that. It was something ridiculous. Yeah. Meanwhile, $600 million later for Andor,
What are they thinking? It makes no sense. I don't get it.
Well, I think I'm with you there, right? I think one of the things they're banking on here, March, April, May, is they're looking for success with Daredevil Born Again, which I do think will
Which
be
actually
successful.
looks good. Yeah.
And then I
actually
think, and then that's going to roll right into Andor season 2, and then they're pretty much got nothing. They're going to bring out Percy again at some point, right? There'll be another season of Percy because it's in production. But other than that, I mean, what else is coming live action Disney Plus? Nothing.
It goes to show you really how pathetic the bench is in the dugout, for Disney. No, it really is.
Kathy was talking about how great the bench is.
Her bench is great. Her bench is great.
No, it's terrible. I know. I know, and this is the problem. And the reason that Kathy Kennedy can say something like that is because her entire career has been just grifting off the men around her. I mean, it really, really, truly is. Kathleen Kennedy has never had to create anything in her life. She's walked into the office and all these other guys, and they could have been women, I don't care, but the point is that she's never created or built anything on her own. Nothing. She has always showed up in a room. Something that audiences and consumers wanted was already on the table, and then she just stamped her name on it. It's literally all she's done. So to her, she thinks she's got a deep bench because she truly doesn't understand how absolutely worthless a human being she is when it comes to Hollywood. I mean, I know Hollywood loves to kiss her ass and give her all kind of accolades, but I mean, I'm sorry, the facts don't speak well of her in that regard. And it's time for her just to do what she said, last year, that she wants to go and make movies with Frank. And that's probably a good idea, is to go ahead and just let your husband bring you along for the ride like he used to back in the 80s.
I was just going to say, she's going to end exactly the way she started with.
Do you guys think we get anything? Spielberg.
Yeah.
Do you guys think we get anything in 2 months at Celebration?
I personally don't think they will want to.
She's going to walk out there on that stage at the Lucasfilm showcase.
She's going to bring Daisy back out?
No. Let me. Okay. Celebration, in theory, would be an ideal setting for the torch to be passed. The problem is that it seems very clear at this point that Kathleen Kennedy is adios. I mean, she is done. It's just, this is a matter of timing. I think the disparity right now, because I think, as people correctly pointed out, Kathy wants to announce this in her own time, and I get that.
And she's still working on these shows.
Well, but not really. I mean, she hadn't worked on anything over there in Lucasfilm in God knows how many years.
Or so she says.
Her name's on it, but
she's slapping her name on it. Yeah.
This is why people like Lin-Wen Brennan are being brought up as her successor. At least Lin-Wen Brennan and Dave Filoni, I think, is probably the most likely set of successors. Lin-Wen Brennan, who's the general manager at Lucasfilm right now. Lin-Wen Brennan has been running the day-to-day operations of the entire Lucasfilm enterprise now for the last 10 years. Kathy's not there. She doesn't give a shit. That woman has air in her head and coffee in her brains. I mean, there's nothing there. So if you put a business manager in charge of Lucasfilm like Lin-Wen Brennan, and they'll probably wind up turning the co-president position over to Dave Filoni, another woman. And then you wind up with 2 women as the co-presidents of, get the jokes. Y'all listening out here, I didn't misspeak. That was a joke.
So basically you're saying Star Wars is going to go from suck to blow.
Pretty much. It's going to be Mega Made, Nick. Mega Made, from suck to blow. No, it's not. But here's the thing. They've got to actually, I don't think any announcement is going to be made about Kennedy unless and until they have contracts ready to go for who's taking over. Because they're not going to announce, I don't think, Kennedy retiring until they can turn around in the same, the same speech or whatever, the same press release, and say that and Dave Filoni is taking over or whatever. I think they're lining all that up right now.
Well, and celebration's basically 2 months away. So, and if you think about what happens at a celebration, I mean, she'll come out, she'll start ceremonies probably, and then they're just going to turn it over to Carrie Beck and Dave Filoni, whether they're going to be it or not. Those are the people who are going to get up there and speak about the roadmap. She's not going to speak about the roadmap for the story going forward.
Even be there.
Well, that she may not go because it's in Japan and the rest of it, but I think she'll be there. But she's not going to be up at the stage again with the laser pointer and a map and all these things like she was at that D23 or whatever.
No.
Never again.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think that's done.
We do know somebody that will be there, and that is our resident token black guy, the DA.
Yes.
who's actually going to be in Japan and actually going to be at Celebration. So we are actually going to be reporting on that, and we'll be talking to Derek while he's out there. So he'll be literally there at Celebration, and I'm sure you'll probably be hearing all kinds of stuff while you're out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get into every panel. It's always a struggle getting in, but I'm gonna try to get into every panel I can and report back whatever they say. But yeah, that's why I was just curious. Is there? It seems like if you're going to pass the torch, and give Kathleen her flowers in front of all the fans, everybody can celebrate her and clap her up and everything. It seems like Celebration would be the ideal time, but maybe they just don't have enough time to get it together. Maybe in the next Celebration.
And
that's what
I'm pretty sure they're going to have one in
last
2027,
year,
but that's 2 years away.
So here's the other part of me that says the reason why I don't think they'd want to do it at Celebration is I don't think they want her booed. I don't think they want to put her on that stage and rah her being coming out and having a negative reaction, and then them saying that she's going to retire and the place erupting and raucous applause. You know what I mean? I just don't think they.
It depends on how well they think they can control the crowd, though. I mean, think about this, Richmond. They brought Daisy Ridley out there on stage in 2023.
I was there when they did it,
and it was
in the room. I was in the room.
It was nothing but a bunch of Raylo retards in there. I mean, they will load the box with the crowd that they need to have there. One way or another.
Plus, somebody in the chat just reminded me the Japanese probably wouldn't boo. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's safe enough.
That's why I said if it was
until now. They might break centuries of tradition.
That's why I said if it was going to happen, it's going to happen at Celebration this year because it's in Japan. And there'll be a lot of Japanese people. There'll be American people there too, of course. But she's not going to get if they were to do that like here in like Orlando, this year, Chicago. If it was in Orlando or Chicago or here in the States, she'd get destroyed.
Yeah, but you know what? You know how Hollywood celebrities love to go overseas, people like Anthony Mackie, and then take a shit on America? This is probably the perfect place for Kennedy to go and do her retirement speech in Japan. Just because she'll think like nobody will see this.
Yeah.
Well, and it's
going to be like in the middle of the night over here in the States what's going on. So she's like,
I just think it's too close to whatever this interview was. I really don't see them taking a part of Celebration to retire her away. I really don't.
I don't think they'll necessarily say Kennedy's retiring, but I mean, they could put on something, about her. I've said for years, when she walks out on stage and gets a lifetime achievement from the Oscars, we'll know. I mean, she got a couple of big awards in the Hollywood circle last year, which fits with what Matt Bellany said about, she was supposed to retire last year and then stuck around. I speculated Tuesday. I think part of that was to see what happened with the presidential election. I mean, Dana Walden and Kamala Harris. Dana Walden, who was the heir apparent to Bob Iger, maybe up until election night last year. This was the chick. She is the co-chairman of Disney Studios with Alan Bergman. This was the chick that introduced Kamala Harris to her current husband, Doug Emhoff. I mean, they lived together in the same Brentwood
They're all
neighborhood.
Close friends and buddies.
I mean, and this was, I think part of this now, this precipitation of her leaving, don't discount the fact of Trump getting back in office is look, obviously it's pissed off a lot of people in Hollywood.
There's a culture change happening because of it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this played at least a piece of this. I mean, I'm not saying like, well, she's leaving because Trump's in office. No, that's not the big primary reason, but I don't think that helped. So I just put it that way.
My vote is she's going to open the ceremonies up. She'll be there with Sean Levy. She'll be there with Simon Kinberg to talk about their movies. And the rest of it's going to be the Filoni, Favreau, Carrie You know what I mean? It just really depends on what else they're going to announce.
Yeah, they're right there where they were 2 years ago when she walked out there and had a conversation talking to Charmin Obaid-Chinoy about her movie. Mm-hmm. Where are we now, Charmin? We're in the same place we were 2 years ago when we
I don't think Charmain's going to be at this celebration. That's for sure.
No.
I mean, look,
sure.
The only reason Charmin is still there is because she literally has nowhere else to go because she's a loser. She's done nothing. I mean, it's you realize like, no, the reason why so many other people walk away from Lucasfilm is because they realize, oh my God, I can't take this anymore, and I'm better than this. Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, who hates men and likes to make them uncomfortable, literally has nowhere else to go. She has no career. She's doing nothing. She can go back to making, $5,000 handycam videos or whatever she was doing before. But I mean, that's kind of Disney's MO. Take people that have no business making $300 or $300 million movies and then giving them $300 million to make a movie. Disney loves doing this.
Yeah, Knee Pain, when you were at Lucasfilm, did you guys get like hookups for Star Wars Celebration and stuff?
No.
Did people there ever talk about it or go? Or?
I mean, select people in the crew, right? Like some, certain producers or directors might go and hear them talking about it. But yeah, if you wanted to go, I think you just you're paying on your own. So.
Well, that sucks, man. You guys didn't even get a hookup for Celebration. And you guys work for the company. Be like, what the hell? Come on now. Real quick, Bad News Badger for 50 Donkey Kong credits. So, Valiant, are we going to get a just out of the theater review of Snow White from you?
Oh, you have to go.
Yep.
You're going to see that,
he got his tickets already.
Yeah.
You have to now since
somebody give you a big. I remember hearing this. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to go buy the. I've got to go buy the tickets. But yeah, I mean, I made it. This is what I get for making a joke on a live show, and I think. The joke was somebody send me a $500 super chat and I'll go sit through this shit.
Well, they did. Within seconds, they did. Right.
I know it was in seconds, but collectively, I think that night we had something like it was close to $1,500 in super chats, and most of them were for go see Snow White. I'm like, I really hate you guys.
If somebody sends a $1.99 super chat, I'll go watch Snow White.
Oof. Here you go. Hey, Valiant, did you see
that? That just says you want to go see it, you queer.
He just wants to see it. Hey, Valiant, did you see they already started trending down the box office numbers for Snow White? It already dropped from 50 or 60. I think it was 60 billion.
53.
Yeah. It's just going from.
I'm going to talk about it Sunday. It's not surprising, but I keep reminding people though. Look, kids' movies like this, general audience and children's movies, they don't perform like MCU titles, right? So we knew with Captain America, we saw the first weekend, and we're like, yep, it's screwed. It's over. Because we knew exactly based on the history of Marvel theatrical performance and the front loading of box office. Then as soon as Captain America DEI came out, I'm like, okay, we saw the wheel, but that's it. We're done. Moving on. Snow White could look a lot more like a Mufasa, potentially, okay? Where you have this drag, right? Now, the only difference is that Mufasa...
I know a lot of general audience people know about her and are not fans.
No, well, that's just it. Rachel Zegler, like, obviously Disney has been running a metric shit ton of damage control lately. Rachel Zegler come out with all these things that clearly Disney attorneys and PR firms scripted for her to say. Like, suddenly she went from being a petulant, bitchy, smart-mouthed, awful teenager to a year later, they try to make her sound like Winston Churchill. It's hilarious to watch this. It's not here. Right. And, so anyway, I don't, if this thing opens at 53 million domestically, now the only thing that could save it at that point is the international box office. I just can't. I can't see this thing opening with a $50 to $60 million opening weekend again in the middle of March. It's not the summer. It's not Christmas. It's not Thanksgiving. It's March, and then managing to leg out somehow.
You got spring break, but nobody's going to the movie.
To 800.
I don't think this hits Little Mermaid numbers. I don't even think it does the 569 worldwide.
I don't think it does. No, I'm with you, DA. That's exactly what I've said to people now for like a year. I was like, look. Little Mermaid was the high watermark. You got to think about this. Ariel was, I just got a new light and the plug on it is not in there all the way. I'm sorry. Ariel was
I can't believe I can't believe that movie made as much as it did.
Well, it made a third of what Barbie did in the same year. But the problem was Ariel's a much more popular character than Snow White. Yeah. But then on the other side, there's the fact that, okay, at least Rachel Ziegler under Disney's Stories Matter group and Reimagine Tomorrow program, Rachel Ziegler counts in DEI language as, quote, white passing. So, whereas Halle Bailey, as pretty as Halle Bailey is, as just a bright, bubbly personality as Halle Bailey had, she just didn't look like Ariel. I'm sorry. She did not. It just didn't work. Visually, you're talking about 5 to 8 to 9, 10-year-old girls. You have to give them the visual cues. At least with Rachel Ziegler, she puts off the Snow White look visually better than Halle Bailey did with Ariel. So there's that. But at the same time, Snow White has never been as big a character in the last 3-4 decades as Ariel has. So it's going to be an interesting back and forth. I'm with DA. I don't think this thing gets past Little Mermaid. I don't think this thing gets past 550, 600 million.
No.
So, yeah. I don't
She's going
see
to be
how.
at the Oscars, too. I don't know if everybody caught that. She's going to be a presenter at the Oscars.
And Gal Gadot.
Yep. They're pulling out all the stops to try to help this thing get
money,
way hotter than Rachel Zegler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, give me Gal any day of the week. Speaking of kid shows, did you guys see that that announcement of the Barney horror movie that they're doing with Barney?
I heard about this.
Yeah,
I heard about this. Yeah.
I guess after the Winnie the Pooh thing, these studios are just like, yeah, A24 is doing it. I was like,
well, they got a Popeye one coming out too that looks weird.
Yeah, Popeye's Revenge. Yeah, I watched that trailer. I was just like, wow. I guess a lot of that stuff's public domain.
Yes,
like Popeye.
That's why they're doing it. Yeah.
That's freaking hilarious. All right, let's. Fuck you, X-Wing.
You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah,
you wanted that to happen.
The thing is, I gotta see it for Mr. H.
Mr. H.
Yeah. But I have a way of seeing it and not having to pay for it and give Disney any money. So I'm actually not going to even have to.
I got to be honest. No, I have to be honest with mine. I have to go. People spend a lot of money for me to suffer through it. So I'm going to take a picture of the ticket when I get it. You're
not actually paying for it, though. Somebody else is.
Well, yes. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they super chat me, but I mean, I got to go buy the ticket. I'm going to go to the theater. I mean, it was getting to the point in that live show that I tried to put a stop to because, like, no, I'm going to feel terrible. People were about to put up a lot more money to try to force Renegade Jr. to go see it with me. And because he was screaming in the background, like, oh my God, you have to go. Like, I am not going to go see that. There is no way you're making me. I said, if the chat speaks, son, you have to go. And I had to cut it off because they were about ready to start rolling it again in there to make him go.
Knee pain, are you going to see Snow White?
What happened?
He
froze.
He unmuted and then he froze.
No, he's still live.
Oh no, there he is. He's collecting his thoughts.
Are you serious?
You want my ticket, knee pain?
Yeah.
I got to buy one.
If
I
somebody
had to think. I was like, is he really talking to me?
If somebody sends a $10 super chat, we're sending that $10 to knee pain and making him go see it.
You could have just simply answered, yes, I'll watch it. I have the 4K at home. It's a wonderful movie by Walt from 1937.
Archer Merchant for $5.
What's up, Archer?
Heavy the coat of the coattails. KK will always be riding. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. The husband doesn't count. Rode those coattails too. Yeah, she's I don't know, Hollywood whore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she hooked up early and she hitched her wagon to the right guy. I mean, I do not say that facetiously when I say she really is. She's the Hillary Clinton of Hollywood. It's the same as if you go look how Hillary came up, you know, was one of those. She hitched herself to the right wagon. She saw that Bill was going places. She knew it, saw what he was capable of in communication and creation and speaking to people. And Hillary hitched her wagon and she waited for Bill to create all the success. And then, suddenly Hillary Clinton's the senator from the state of New York. I mean, I wonder how that happened. Like she never got there on her own. She grifted her way there. Yeah. Same thing here with Kennedy. She waited for the guys to set all this up. She rode the coattails. And then once they retired, just like Bill did, she just picked up the crown and ran with it and go, look all that I accomplished as a woman.
Yeah.
You didn't do shit. You broke everything. Literally just broke it all.
Women shouldn't drive and they shouldn't be involved in the movie business.
I'm not going to say that. There's some really talented women out there.
I'm
and
joking.
This is my point. I know you are. But my point is that Kathleen Kennedy was absolutely not one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name nailed it. There's no pulling the wool over his eyes. Nick has a secret crush on Zegler. He just wanted an excuse. Oh God, we have so much fun roasting her on HCast Tuesdays and Thursdays. Which if you guys are not sub to Mr. H Reviews, go sub to Mr. H Reviews. You can find me in Culture Casino and several other people over there on Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons. But I don't see the Snow White film. They're going to definitely lose money on it because I think they had already started the shooting process with the homeless dwarves that they axed. And then they kind of revamped everything and basically reshot the whole movie. I don't know how far. Have you heard how far along they had got in that first iteration of filming
for Snow White?
Yeah.
Bro, they were done.
Yeah.
They were
done?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I did not know that.
I thought
they just started.
Okay. The shot that came out in summer of 23, right before the Indiana Jones movie, right around the same time. The shot that the Daily Mail put out of the 7 filthy hippies walking through the grass.
Vagabonds, with
the stand-in for Snow White. Okay. The Disney confirmed, that was us. That was a pickup shoot. Like, this was after all principal photography had concluded, to my understanding, and they sent the cast or stand-ins back out into the pasture out there in the UK. They were doing drone footage, kind of like they were shooting a shot, like think about like Fellowship of the Ring, where you see the 9 walking on the mountaintop, like at a distance, and they have these panning drone shots, helicopter shots. That's what they were shooting there. This was the B team out there. Principal photography was done. That got leaked, and everybody went, holy shit, what is this?
Yeah.
And then Disney used the guise of the actor strike or whatever as we'll delay it a year.
Yeah, basically stand-ins for the CGI dwarves.
Yeah,
remember they couldn't get real ones because Peter Dinklage won't allow it. So
Peter Dinklage is a piece of shit. No, but it was, you realize it was a month after they officially announced that they were delaying the movie. A month later, they came out with that AI generated image of Rachel Ziegler and the CGI dwarves, because until that image was generated, those things didn't exist. And that's what they spent the last year doing, was going back in and remaking all those scenes again to fix it and to add in the CGI, because the reaction to that leaked look, I almost wish that leaked image had never come out and they would have released the movie a year ago with those 7 filthy dude.
Oh God, that
I
would be hilarious.
wish to God that we would. Now look,
Hilarious.
it would not at all surprise me if we see
I would have gone seen that.
Yeah.
right? I would not be at all surprised if we actually see some footage in the movie of the 7 dirty hippies, like they do something in the beginning or at the end or something like this where they become real people or some crazy shit. Because they obviously filmed them. They're in there. So I would not be at all surprised to see something in the film that has them in it. That's just me, but we'll see.
Oh no, I want to see that too. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and they're reporting the budget of this thing at $209 million right now.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah,
no,
just like Captain America was 180
Captain
million.
America,
Yeah.
Brave New World all over again. Exactly.
Well, wait, again, language, to be fair, the budget probably was 200 million. The budget for Captain Falcon DEI probably was 180 million. That's a budget.
True.
Yeah.
Not what they spent.
Nah,
Not what they
exactly.
And to be
It's not what they
fair,
spent. Yeah.
The CG dwarves look really bad, like they had them ordered off Fiverr. So maybe,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We already know Snow White was what at the last filing that Disney made in the UK. Snow White was already at, I think, 260 million, and that was before any of the reshoots started.
Wow.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting March. We got Snow White coming out, and we have Assassin's Creed Shadows coming out. That's already been leaked. The whole game has already been leaked, and I guarantee you they're going to use that as Ubisoft's going to be like, it's got bad reviews because of the leak, and the game wasn't finished.
They already did.
Yeah,
they already
they
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already came out and said, we realize some gameplay footage has leaked out there. Please understand that is not final gameplay footage and should not be held to be representative. I'm like, dude, you are 20 days out from release. What the fuck do you mean it can't be final footage? How would it not be?
What are you changing in 20 days?
Yeah.
How much are you really changing?
You've already delayed it 3.5 months after 5 years of development. You built a game around George Floyd. What the fuck are you doing? How could it not be?
They were trying to release in Black History Month in February with Yuzake, the Black Samurai.
Yasuke. Yeah. That was the George Floyd.
Yeah.
Did you see the side by side somebody did? I think it was like 3 months ago. Somebody took one of the still images that Ubisoft posted of Yasuke with the helmet off, and they redid his face, but with George Floyd's face. Like, you literally could almost not tell them apart.
I did see that.
I can't unsee it now.
Ubisoft has even come out and admitted basically that this was in response to that situation in 2020. It's like, dude, talk about when you look. This is the problem with game studios in Hollywood. They go into these ideas about things that happen in culture, not thinking that by the time the product actually comes out, it's 3 or 4 years later. Like, people have moved. Things have changed since then. New evidence has come out, and they base these entire games around these ridiculous news cycles. It's comedically retarded. I'll never get it.
Yeah, I just actually downloaded Mecha demo on Steam, which is getting a ton of backlash because they got hot women with jiggly effects in it.
Jiggle physics.
Yeah, the Wokies are going insane over this game, and I was like, I'm downloading it. I'm playing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like killing it right now. Bad News Badger for 20 Donkey Kong credits. Just another woman taking credit for
Donkey Kong credits.
Yeah, DKK. That's
Danish
credits with a
krona.
K. Yeah, I know. I like we did Zambukis for the other
Yeah, I
thing.
know.
and,
Well,
I
from
did Donkey
now
Kong
on,
credits.
when Badger super chats on my show, I
You
have
gotta
to
say
refer
Donkey
to
Kong
it Donkey
credits.
Kong credits. That's
Yeah,
too good.
anytime
I
you
love it.
see DKK, you gotta say Donkey Kong credits.
Yeah.
And if you see the what is it? ZU? Is it ZU? What was it, Risman?
ZMB, isn't it?
Yeah, ZMB. Yeah, you gotta call it Zambukis. Those are Zambukis.
ZMB, what is that, like Zambia Bucks?
I think it's Zimbabwe.
I think it's South
or
Africa, right?
South African.
brand.
Yeah.
It's something from South Africa.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are Zambukis, and then DKK Donkey Kong credits.
God.
Anyways, guys, any final thoughts before we wrap things up? Me and Mexican Iron Man are gonna go hang out for his birthday today.
I was gonna say you got birthday things to do.
I gotta call him. Oh
Yeah.
God. Are you
I
still at
think
his house?
Yeah, I am.
Bastard.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
what
I
about
think
what about
yeah.
tomorrow, Nick? Are you doing the cast
Yes.
tomorrow? Are you being
Yes.
cast?
Yep, EBN cast tomorrow at 2:00 Central. Me, Culture Casino, John F. Trent, and Stone
Texting him
Loki.
right now.
Yeah, which actually, Valiant, I was actually going to call you. Me and Mike in October might be coming down to Louisiana to go to a gun training class if you want to do it with us on a weekend.
Yeah, where at?
I don't know. I got to get the details from him. But
All right, let me know.
yeah, it's a tactical. I think it's like an advanced pistol class.
Okay.
That me and him are going to do down there. And I was like, oh shit, Valiant's down there. We can see if he wants to do it with us. It's just it's a 2-day class.
Yeah. Let me know.
Like 6 or 7 hours on a Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. Let me know.
Derek,
right.
what you got going on next, Derek?
The nightcap tonight. I'm going live at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys are all going to be asleep by then. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. We've been talking about ranking because we get kind of weird at night, and so we're possibly
you got to talk about
ranking.
all the KK stuff that just dropped.
You know what, man? I might be over the KK stuff. I think I want to talk
He's all
about.
KK'd out.
I'm out, man. I'm done. But we might be talking about the ranking the MCU girls, the girls of the MCU, because we have that kind of crowd. So my homie T gives his T rankings, and we're gonna go one by one. I'm actually putting together a few extra photos right now. But yeah, we're gonna go one by one to the hottest chicks through the MCU in their MCU prime, and so we'll kind of cover that. So that should be a lot of fun. So just kind of a hangout, chill time for the guys. Hey, let's talk some hot chicks in the MCU. That sort of thing. That's what we're going to do tonight on the nightcap. So
hell yeah. I was actually thinking about covering some old school Marvel stuff on here, like some old school Marvel comic series, like Maximum Carnage, the Batman vs Predator, like a bunch of old comic series on the channel. Because man, I can't with the Disney Star Wars crap anymore. It's like, man, it's terrible. But anyways, knee pain. I've seen that you've been doing some stuff here and there on over on your channel. I saw you were doing.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you got?
I just kind of just live stream. I just live stream whenever I work in my studio. I just figured like I just get back to do the things I really like doing, and I'll live stream and talk to people while doing it. Just kind of a socializing people while I'm working, but still focusing on my work. So whether I'm editing video or doing shoots here in the studio, I just set up my wireless transmitter and receiver, wireless mic, and I just talk to people while I'm working. And I don't know, I've been doing that. And at this point, it comes to Star Wars, like I said, I'm just kind of like whatever. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how much worse it can get. I'm like, I'm looking forward to the next movie announcement being.
Can it get any worse?
I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to the announcement saying the next one is going to star Rachel Zegler and or Zendaya, and I'd be like, hell yes!
Yeah.
All my friends are going to have a field day, and I'm going to enjoy all those streams because I'm just here.
Along with Pedro Pascal and some.
Yes, Pedro Pascal
doesn't have enough work as it is.
Ryan Gosling, he's coming in, like, come on, Disney. What is,
it's like I'm off the Save the Star Wars bandwagon now. I just want to see just how bad it can get and just laugh all the way. So
yeah, it's fun to watch the plane crash.
Zendaya for Mara Jade, y'all.
Oh my God, they would complete. Like, I don't even want them to bring EU characters in because they've already proven that they don't know how to handle them correctly. I mean, we saw what they did with Thrawn. What a disaster! He's a complete joke.
That was terrible.
But yeah, knee pain next year. EBN meetup Nashville. We got to get you out in Nashville, brother.
Yeah. I got to come out.
Even if we got to start a GoFundMe to pay for your flight and hotel out here. Like,
Now I'll probably just drive the camper van out. That way I can just enjoy the sights.
Out. Yeah,
that would be a fun cross country trip.
Yep. So I might head out next week. Actually,
I love road trips. Valiant, what do you got going on, brother? You always got stuff going on.
Nope.
Nothing. Channel done.
See you Sunday. That's about it. I've done enough. I had a live show Sunday, Tuesday, and last night. They were 4 hours plus a piece. I'm done. I'm on vacation till Sunday, and maybe beyond that. Mardi Gras is next week on Tuesday, so I got half of mine to get in the car.
I thought you were at Mardi Gras last week.
Y'all don't understand Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras season goes from January 6th on King's Day until whenever Mardi Gras falls that year, which this year is March 4th.
Yep.
So Mardi Gras Day, it is Mardi Gras season. We went to parade. There's 100 parades down here in New Orleans, literally about 100 parades in the area every year.
Is it going on this weekend?
Yeah, the biggest parades are this weekend. Toth, Mid-City, Okeanos, Endymion, Bacchus, and then Monday night is Orpheus in New Orleans. Tuesday are the Mardi Gras Day parades. Rex, the king of Mardi Gras, Zulu parades just before Rex. You got truck parades after that. Yeah, no, Mardi Gras Day is Tuesday. Ash Wednesday in the Catholic Church. Ash Wednesday is Wednesday next week. So Mardi Gras obviously is always the day before because Ash Wednesday begins Lent, the 40 days of Jesus in the desert. So that's what Mardi Gras is. Just so if you don't know, it's based on the Catholic liturgical calendar.
Yeah. Isn't the one in Mobile on different days, or is it going on the same time as the ones in New Orleans?
No,
it's the same.
Yeah, Mobile's. I mean, Mobile likes to pretend. Well, we invented Mardi Gras first. No, you didn't. Shut up. People in New Orleans.
It's like the Dollar Store General Mardi Gras.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the Dollar General Mardi Gras. No, it's a fine Mardi Gras, but it's not New Orleans. But no, it should be the same day because again, Mardi Gras. It's not like an arbitrary date. It's literally it's the last day of celebration. You throw a big party. You eat food, you party, and you celebrate before you go into 40 days of fasting for Lent as a Catholic. That's what Mardi Gras is. That's what it's based on. So, no, it should be the same day. They'll have theirs Tuesday. So, but part of me wants to just like bail out, get in the car tomorrow afternoon and drive to Chattanooga or Tennessee or something and go have a long weekend. So, I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
Oh, yeah. Good times. Rissman, what do you got going on other than helping us out here on the channel?
Pretty much it. A whole lot of nothing otherwise.
Building any Lego sets?
So you probably can see the box behind me, but for my 50th, I was gifted the Death Star, the UCS Death Star
I remember
2.
I remember you telling me about that in Orlando.
And so I've started building it, and I have been reminded that in 2005, I think, which is when the set is from, they didn't number the bags. So it's a 3,500 piece set with all the pieces randomly in bags. So in order to build it, you have to sort all the pieces. You have to follow the instructions. You have to find each piece. Because it was before they got in their minds, we should number the bags. We should make it easier. So it's been interesting. It's been interesting.
Dragon Master O for $5 when Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out, regardless of how many copies it sells, which won't be a lot. It won't recuperate its budget, which I'd imagine is millions. It's 1,000% millions. 1,000%
millions, dude. Hundreds of millions.
I literally posted on their little post on the game's not finished. You know, it's we still are working on it. You know, the leak game is not the full game. I was like, you guys would make more money on this game if you sold it for $1.
I saw you write that.
Yeah.
They've got to have at this point, Dragon Master. We're talking about easily 300 million.
Oh yeah, yeah,
easy,
definitely.
easy, and that's before they spend a dime to market this game. This works just like the movies, guy.
Yep.
And that's a shame, Valiant. They could have made another season of Andor for that 300 million.
I know.
Instead, we're
look. That's the scary thing, Rissman. The scary thing, Rissman, is that Ubisoft probably would have been better off handing this money to Disney and going, "Here, do something with
There
it."
you go. There you
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That game is. Oh, it's gonna be
Boom, canceled.
go.
Oh yeah.
It's a poop show.
Yeah, but thank you guys for those super chats. This video is for you guys.
So Mediator has decided 1 point Valiant Renegade. That is a very, very valid argument. Okay.
What you're really saying, Valiant, though,
May the force be with you. For me, Topoma.
why is it that we all look
that hat?
Why is it that we all look so much thinner than Valiant? Did you know? Did you know?
Yes, yes, totally. I missed that hat. It's at the bottom of the river somewhere, about 30 feet down. It's probably soaked in mud at this point. Lost it about a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Missy, shut up.
Be nice to Missy. She is a terrible backseat driver in your car, though.
Yeah.
I will say.
She's like literally like guarding her food bowl dish over there.
Against who?
No, Bambino, Mike's dog.
Oh, I keep forgetting you're at Mike's house. Okay.
Yeah.
She and Bambino are getting into a little fight.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we are wrapping up.
See y'all.
Huh? You want to do tomorrow? Tomorrow?
Mike,
Oh,
we're
okay.
trying to end the show. Shut up.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you all for all your continued support here on the channel. Be back here tomorrow, EBN Cast, 2:00 Central Time. We'll be covering, I don't even know what we're going to be covering. I typically try to stick away from Star Wars topics. We just really went over all the KK stuff tonight, so I'll probably hit some different stuff tomorrow. But anyways, thank y'all for being here. Until the next time, we'll see you guys later.
Take care.
Hello, my name's Tim Rose, and I'm with you here at Echo Base today. I've had a great time, and I played Admiral Akbar in Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, and finally in The Last Jedi. But the one thing that I seem